Did you want to open this week? Because you want to make it your podcast, right?
Oh, I don't want to make it my podcast. I don't know. Do you want to switch it?
Just do it at least once. Yeah, give it. Do you want to, or do you want to wait next week? You want to
Doesn't
practice
matter.
a little bit?
No, it's
do
good.
it in the mirror.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I
I
can
don't
just
even
roll
know how to follow up from you if you ask. But yeah, just go ahead.
Do you want?
Hmm?
Should we just go?
Yeah, just go. I'm including this part where
I don't know.
where
I don't know if you want to.
I usually just do it whenever I feel like it. Just fucking go. Just go.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna have some water. Welcome, everyone, to the Overtly Disagreeable Podcast, a podcast where two assholes talk about nothing. We are your hosts. My name is Shane. Yeah, there.
Yeah,
see, I do need to practice.
It's fine.
And this is my co-host who has no taste, Ken.
Co-host. Does co-host mean equal, or does
that's
it mean...
the thing. I'm not actually sure, but I consider it as an equal in this particular case. But then I guess there is scenarios where it's like Conan O'Brien and Randy...
I don't even know.
Andy Richter?
Yeah.
Andy Richter, where he is like below because it's Conan's show.
Yeah.
And it's like his co-host, but
that's why I refer to it as we are your host.
I guess. Okay, fine. Do you want me to do it again?
No, it's fine. We're good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Equal hosts.
All right.
So, how have you been?
Pretty good. Because I got the new podcasting equipment.
It looks exactly the same.
It's got a better screen.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's got like a colored screen instead of this. And it also has, so like this, the only way I can change our sound volumes is by going into the menu. This has like physical dials for me to use, which is a lot nicer.
Where's the dials?
They're like on the front.
Oh, so this isn't the new one.
This is the old one.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. This one looks exactly the same.
Yeah, okay,
like the new podcast equipment. And I'm like, this looks exactly the same.
I haven't had a chance to experiment with the new one all that much yet. It's the one thing that I wanted it for. It works pretty well, which is that we can plug our phone into it or something.
Yeah, for the soundboards.
For the soundboard, right? So it works flawlessly for that. Like, it's nice. Fucking perfect. It's basically like hearing it off of the phone directly.
Nice.
So it goes, because this one, like, this one has a port for it, but it's super staticky. I don't know why.
Yeah. Okay.
Weird. The only downside, which I didn't see coming with the new equipment, is that the audio file is bigger. So to do our two mics and let's say
a possible
soundboard, with this current SD card will only give us like half an hour of audio time.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's
how big is the SD card now?
32 gigs.
What?
Yeah. So
to do our podcast, we're gonna have to get
no
64.
I'll just probably get the 128 one. It supports
ridiculous.
Maximum 128.
That's ridiculous.
So I have to test this out at home because I cannot find much information about this.
Okay.
Because like apparently people using it the way we're using it is not very common. Most people like plug it into a computer
and then just immediately upload it. So
yeah.
The computer's taking all the load.
The computer's taking the information. The equipment is just cleaning up the audio and then feeding it to the computer.
Okay. I mean that could be the next step. But...
Yeah. So like 99% of people do it that way. So the SD card limit is talked about very rarely, which is why like when I watched like fucking like a million reviews for it, like nobody ever mentioned this limitation.
Because most people are running it straight into a PC.
That's right.
That's dedicated for podcasting.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did find one person who said that it stops after it reaches 2 gigabytes of file size. And then it immediately just starts a new file. So, like, if we record on it, supposedly, if this is accurate, it'll record 30 minutes and then just start a new file, which is another 30 minutes.
Okay.
And it just keeps doing that in 2 gigabyte chunks until you run out of data.
I wonder how much that's going to be a pain in the ass to
splice. It's pretty easy to put it all together.
Okay.
I'm not too worried. If that's accurate, then I'm fine with it. Then I can work that. That's simple. You know, you just put one file to the other.
I suppose, yeah.
The device automatically ends one file and starts another, like,
and there's not
on a dime.
Delay. Yeah,
there's no delay or anything. So if that's the case, then that's totally fine. We can work with that. If not, then I don't know what to do. I'm hoping 128. Sorry, I'm hoping 128 gigs will be sufficient. I mean, that's not too much. Like 128 gig SD card is like $30.
Okay.
So it's not too
It
much.
just seems a lot of space for what we're doing, which is literally just audio.
Yeah,
Which seems,
it is.
which normally is like the smallest type of file.
Yes.
But
But it's super like uncompressed or something. So it will have one file for my mic, one file for your mic, and one file for the phone.
okay.
And I want to possibly, although like I'm thinking of how we can do the soundboard in a couple different ways. Maybe we can have a tablet that we just put like here where we both have access to, or maybe we have like a splitter similar to what we use for our headsets
Okay.
that goes into it, and we both plug our phones into that splitter.
Okay.
I'm trying to, whatever works best. I'm not entirely certain yet.
No, we still need a device to actually do these sounds.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I found a soundboard app on my phone, so
Okay.
you just, you go into the app and then you put whatever sounds you want into it.
Okay.
And then it'll just create a button for that sound.
All right, that's good.
Yeah. So it's on the way there. Just need to, do a little bit more research. I haven't had too much time. Just super busy.
With
Work, streaming, Ring Fit Adventure, and studying.
Studying for what?
I'm taking this real estate course.
Oh, okay.
Quote unquote taking a course. There's no classes or anything. It's just read this book and in a year do a test.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been doing that for like 5 months now. Yeah. And so I need to pick up the pace a little bit. I'm like just under halfway through the book. I was hoping to be at 6 months, just over halfway, because I want like 1 month to like review and everything. I don't want to just finish the book and then get into the test.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been doing that. But it's pretty much that. Work, studying Ring Fit. Ring Fit has been good. I decided to just increase the difficulty to the very maximum, like the tippy top of the game. Because the people in the stream were asking for it. The 2 people. And
how does that change the game?
It's way more difficult. So for an example, before I needed to do, I think it was something like my squat exercise, which is my strongest one now. I think I had to do like 20 of those to reach its max damage. Now it's like 40 squats.
Oh, jeez.
So if I use the squat attack, I'm in for about 40 squats.
Jesus.
Yeah, which is brutal. It's fucking painful. But at least now I'm sweating like crazy again.
Okay.
Because there was a little while there where I just wasn't sweating at all or anything.
Plateaued and got used to the difficulty.
It seemed like it, yeah.
Okay.
So, and like at first I thought it was the cold, like I discussed last week.
Yeah.
But there was like this week wasn't that cold.
Yeah, no, I actually got a little bit warmer, strangely.
Yeah, and I still just wasn't sweating. Like I could almost go through the entire world without drinking water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, but as soon as I turn that difficulty up, I'm fucking like chugging bottles of water again and sweating like crazy. It's fucking brutal.
Nice.
I'm gonna get through the end. I've played about 20 something hours of that game so far.
Nice.
That's a fucking long ass campaign.
Yeah.
Because even without exercising, like if the game was just a regular game, 20 hours is still a decent campaign.
Yeah, that's a pretty long game generally. Like a lot of games are 8 to 10 hours now.
Yeah.
For single player experience.
If that, and then they're usually meant to just give you some like new game plus where you just play it on a higher difficulty or something, which I'm sure this game also has. But fuck, 20 hours, and I'm almost at the end. I think I'm at world 19 now. I'm told there's 20.
Oh, okay. So you're actually really close.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. On the plus side, I'm so over leveled that I'm killing the boss with pretty ease.
Yeah, when I jumped in for a second, you were like 150 something.
Yeah, and I think the recommended level to fight the boss at the time I was fighting him was like 130.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're way over leveled.
I'm a decent bit over leveled because I keep using like double XP potions or potions smoothie. They call it smoothies.
Yeah.
I keep referring to it as potions. I refer to everything there as potions, not smoothies.
Whatever.
I don't know why.
It's just game specific, basically.
Yeah. One thing I really wish they would change about that game is when you make smoothies, you have to like use the ring and squeeze the smoothies in.
Yeah, you juice it.
Yeah, but the problem is that one exercise is so light that all I feel like is I'm getting way too long of a break.
Oh.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel like I'm.
Yeah,
working
but you're also
else.
like making, provisions and stuff. So it is kind of like break time.
Yeah, no.
'Cause, I mean, you're not doing
I
squats when
don't
you're at
want,
a blender at home, fucking blending bananas and
but
milk.
I don't want too long of a break. Like there was one time where I was doing it, like just trying to make like all my potions again because like I had just used a lot of them and I haven't made a bunch in a while.
Yeah.
And so I was there for I want to say like 7-8 minutes, just fucking.
You just do it at the beginning.
Yeah,
Like when you get started on the
I guess
game,
I could
don't
do it
just-
at the beginning.
Just
Yeah,
don't jump in right away and start doing stuff. Just or maybe do one like world or what is it?
level.
Do one level and then juice. Get
And then
yourself
juice
a warm
up.
up.
Yeah,
And then go in deep.
I guess
be
I could do it
prepared.
that way.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean? That's the only suggestion I can have for you if you don't like the long break.
it's just too long.
Because I don't think you're going to be like me and you would just plan it out so you make like a few in between each world. You're
No,
like,
I want
get
to take
20
care of
done.
all at once.
Exactly. So that's probably something you want to do at the beginning or after like the first one after you got a little bit of a warm up or something.
Yeah, no, that might work out. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it right after the first one because I would like to just do one level pretty much right away just to get everything moving. But
and
yeah.
also for the stream,
Yeah,
so it's not
and
too
for
boring.
that's
for
right.
Viewers.
And the other thing about like crafting that stuff is you can only do 3 different smoothies at any time, and 5 of those, like you can build up to 5 of each of those 3.
Oh, okay.
So like I wish you could just do like a whole bunch at once instead of just 3.
What? Like, how would you be able to do 15 more? You just do another level?
No. So you do 3 smoothies.
Yeah.
Okay. Once those 3 are done, then you go back into the menu.
Yeah.
Select 3 other smoothies that you want to make.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it.
Oh, okay.
So you can't do more than 3 at any given time.
But you can just keep back to back doing 3.
Yeah,
3. Oh,
pretty much. Again, it's just something
it's a
that
little
takes
arbitrary,
longer.
but yeah.
Yeah, it just makes it take even longer than it needs to be. I wish that could be
Maybe that's like
sped up a little bit.
Cheap like gameplay hurdle to stop people from like
From killing
for like
themselves?
no, not from killing themselves, but like to play to people's impatience,
Oh.
so they don't like you stack up on a bunch of smoothies and just cruise through the
That's
fucking
possible because I do that.
game. Yeah, because I mean, again, this game is not meant for like quote unquote real gamers. You know
No,
what I
it's
mean?
not. It's meant for like
your
super
mom
casual.
and shit like
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
So that like she's gonna be like, okay, I guess I'm done making smoothies now, and then goes and plays the game, and then not realizing that if she just went back to make more, and then not have to like stop or be underprepared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that could be it, or just impatience. Like
Yeah.
she might know she could do it, but she just doesn't want to. Just
Yeah,
wants to.
exactly.
I had one of my streamers saying that they want to buy it for like their family to play, and I was just telling them like, it looks like a family-friendly game, but it's not. It's not a game you can easily pass over to just someone
Yeah,
else.
because the leg strap.
The
and
leg
shit.
strap. The leg strap is the biggest hurdle because first of all, you don't want to pass a gross leg strap to somebody else.
You have to buy multiple
You have
leg
to buy
straps.
multiple, and the Nintendo store sells them for like I want to say like $25 a piece.
Just the leg strap.
Just a leg strap, if I remember correctly.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I got it off. I got another one off AliExpress.
Yeah.
Because I was playing the game often enough that I needed because I wanted to wash the
Yeah.
original one. It works just as well, but the strap itself is a little bit rougher. So like when I put it on my skin, I can feel a little bit more, and it's a little bit more irritating.
Okay.
But other than that, it's like $7, and I get another leg strap.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I was just like, just consider the leg strap. It's something you'll need to think about if you want to have multiple people play this game.
Yeah. Also, difficulty among different people with different body shapes and whatnot.
Well, if this person said that they want their kids to play with it, and I'd imagine if all their kids are within the same age range, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Yeah. I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? The older kid just does really well. Like
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's been my week. That and I guess mobile gaming. I've been playing a lot of mobile games, but that's nothing new.
Yeah.
That's new for you.
Yeah.
But
because I've been listening to Wooly, and he was talking about this Capcom card game called Tekken.
Yes.
So then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hold on, there's a part to this before I get to the actual game.
Okay.
I'm like I don't know how to put this into like an actual like thought, but basically I'm super apprehensive about terms of service.
Oh yeah, okay.
And shit like that. Like I'm one of the few people that actually tries to read all the terms of service when they're
Jesus
like,
Christ, I don't do that.
yeah, I know, because it always says, I have read the terms of service. So I
Yeah.
try to at least read it, or at least get paragraphs where it's like, what are the parts that are actually pertaining to me? Because a lot of
Okay.
it's like, don't fuck around on the thing. Don't make racial slurs on the app. Don't try to copy the app and sell it as a second, third party thing. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like,
okay.
that is pretty easy to get over. Or like video games, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, a lot of it's don't fuck around.
Yeah,
I'm
basically.
like, I'm going to play the game and not fuck around. That's down pat. But every once in a while, they slip something in there where it's like, oh, by the way, we also own your PS4. You know what I mean? That's the kind of thing where I'm like a little hesitant. So I open up the game, Teppen, and it's like, we want access to your videos and your pictures. And I'm like, why do you need that?
Yeah, that's...
So I'm like, I'm being all butthurt. I'm like, no.
Deny.
I was thinking about it for a second, and I'm like, well, if Wooly's playing it and I'm not very tech savvy, if it's good enough for him, it's probably good enough for me.
I mean, maybe, yeah.
So I just said yes.
Oh my God.
And then he went to the next part where it was the actual terms of service, and I was like, God damn it. And I read it, and I'm like, I don't like this. And I like closed it. And that's what happened with the movement app. When I was first going to go to the gym, they're like, download this app.
Okay.
Right. And then I was reading the terms of service, and I was like, I don't like the terms of service. I don't like them having like this level of control and hands in my life. So I like put it off for like another month before I started because I didn't like the terms of service.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I was like, well, I kind of have to say yes if I'm going to use this goddamn thing.
You could just like give your phone to somebody and don't, because you can't outright tell them to just accept your terms of service, but just give your phone to someone and just be like, man, I wish I could play this or whatever without accepting the terms of service, and then get them to accept it. But if anything fucks up, you have that as a defense. It's just like, I didn't accept this.
I'm sure that would hold up in court. But yeah, so I'm trying to play a mobile game because the last one I was playing was like a Star Wars like RTS, but it was really shitty.
Okay.
You just place units and then they kind of just automatically attack.
Oh,
it was really annoying.
Okay.
Because we used to play real RTSs, and I'm like, if I could just select a unit and attack a specific thing, this would go so much better.
I think the new term for what you just described is called cow clicker.
I fucking hate that shit. Anyway, so I got rid of that. That was like 2 years ago, and I've been like off of mobile games pretty much since then. I played a little bit of Pokemon Go, but I fell off of that.
Yeah, that was, I don't know, I thought that was kind of boring, to be honest.
It was
right
alright,
off the bat.
But it was very like shallow for, again, the comparison of playing a real Pokemon game. Tap, 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 for fucking like attacking and shit like that. I was like, alright, I'm good. So yeah, I'm playing Teppen. I've just started playing in the last like 2 days.
Okay.
It's like a card game.
You said card game,
yeah.
Really, yeah.
But it's got different, kind of like a Magic the Gathering type of style.
Okay.
Whereas there's different colors for the hero you play as.
Okay.
And then that color corresponds with a certain play style. And then the hero themselves have special abilities that pertain to that play style.
Okay, so it's like combo heavy, I suppose?
Sort of, yeah. Like, it's not so much like Magic where mixing and matching actually benefits you. In this game, it actually is detrimental. Like, you can mix and match, but a lot of the things are only specific, like, green only affects green kind of shit.
Right, so you want to build your deck with
a certain color.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe not, you don't have to build it necessarily with a hero and like their type of
not class, but the color.
Yeah, you could, but your deck you want generally like you want it to be pretty homogenous.
Okay, yeah.
So like they have red, which is just straight damage.
Okay.
And that's represented by Ryu, Rathalos. This is all Capcom, by the way.
Is Mega Man in it?
Yeah.
Oh,
but he's
cool.
referenced as X.
Oh, that's even better. X is way cooler.
Yeah, and he looks edgy and has like a halo ring of digital shit above his head. So
he's dead. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so the red ones are damage. It's Ryu, Jill, and Rathalos.
Okay, I have no idea who Rathalos is.
It's a monster from Monster Hunter.
Okay,
it's like a red dragon. Right. Then you have green, which is like healing.
Okay.
Type of shit where it's just basically you just give your team lots and lots of health.
Okay.
And that's represented in so far that I played by X. And who was the other one? I think it was Nero. Nero's X, and there's another person that was green. Oh, Chun-Li.
Right, okay. And
they either get shields or health, is generally.
So an X or whoever, when they heal, they'll only heal other green cards or characters or whatever. They like
A lot of the cards say that. Like, you play
Okay.
this card, but it only heals green.
So there, have you seen a card that heals? Like, could you heal your red characters if you built
I
a
haven't
red
seen
deck?
that yet.
Okay,
But again, I'm
all
not
right.
very far in it. Like, I'm just starting to get into deck editing.
Okay, all right.
So again, it's surface level, but this is what I'm getting so far. And then there's purple,
Okay.
which is like blue in Magic, where it's all about control.
Okay, all right.
That's represented by Morgan from
Of course.
Dark Souls.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
And Dante.
Just
Wait,
those two?
So far, just those two. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is funny because the Dante one, it's all about like cucking. It's like it just like stops your opponent from being able to do shit. It's called halt.
Okay.
It's like you just can't attack for like 13 seconds. That's Dante's, like, they call it is it character art?
Okay.
Hero art. That's what their special
That's
ability.
their special. Okay.
It's separate from the cards.
Yeah.
It's a special ability that changes the game. So like X's is he heals a bunch of his cards that are on the field to give them more health.
Are the specials one-time use, or do you get?
You build it up over time by doing stuff and doing attacks and stuff like that.
And then once you use it, you can build it again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
With Jill, she gets a rocket launcher as a card, and then you can use the rocket launcher card on the battlefield.
Oh, neat. Okay. All right.
So yeah, Dante is. I haven't used Morgan, but Dante is all about just like, you don't get to attack. I'm sending you back to your deck. And all just like control shit.
Fuck, that's annoying as hell.
It can be, yeah.
Especially, okay.
It was funny to play him once, and it was just like I just kept like slapping away whatever the opponent was doing, basically clearing the field and doing whatever the fuck I want. It's interesting. So far, I've been playing a lot of Jill.
What's the objective? Like, how do you win?
It's like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh, where the character you're playing as, has a health point system.
Okay, all right.
And then when you don't have a creature to attack, because it's 3-on-3 for cards.
Okay.
When you have an open slot and you attack directly, you do direct damage to the person.
Oh, so they could have two characters on the field, but that will leave them with one open slot, so you can still attack
if you have a card in that slot. And
okay.
And once a card is placed, it's placed until it dies.
Okay, so you can't actually select an attack target. It's just whatever is in that slot.
It's direct lines.
I see what you're saying. Okay, all right.
Just by 3 planes.
Yeah.
And then the final color is black, which is represented by Wesker and Nergigante, which is also another monster from Monster Hunter.
Okay.
And that's basically just straight up like damage. It's all
like
about
more so than red?
More so than red. Like red's like I boost my my characters or my cards, or I do damage to your cards.
Right. Okay.
Wesker's hero art is literally he just destroys a card that's 5 health or less.
Oh, wow!
I haven't played Nergigante, so I don't know what his thing is.
Free kill though.
Yeah, and it's all about like high risk, high reward.
Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of Wesker's cards are like he'll send out a zombie, but then when the zombie dies, it like goes back in the deck.
That's pretty cool.
And it costs like half the MP. But again, I don't know how to manage the MP thing because I'm still getting pretty early in the game. Like a lot of the time when I look at my MP, I'm like way above what it looks like there's a max. Like it says 18, but I've gone up to 23 before. So obviously there's MP that you can spend. But again, it's a surface level that I'm at right now. So I don't know how to use these particular MP and shit like that.
What's the cost to play cards in that game? Is it like
it's action points.
Okay,
so you have a bar that goes from 0 to 10.
Yeah.
And every few seconds you get another point. And then every card is worth a certain amount of points. So you might have a character that's 3 action points, right? You can't play it until you have 3 action points.
Right, okay, all right.
And then once you play it on the field, and it can be either a character.
Okay.
The character could have special abilities, which would make it more expensive.
Yes.
Or you can be playing a buff card or a counter card.
And what's the most expensive card that you've seen so far?
Like 8.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah.
What's the maximum action points?
10.
Okay, all right.
And then you can only get to 10.
Yeah.
Like if you don't spend, and let's say you did nothing,
you're losing. Yeah.
You just don't spend. It just caps out.
Yeah, you're just capped at 10, which is essentially a loss at that point.
Yeah.
So you probably never wanted at 10 for.
No, I've never gotten to 10. I've gotten pretty close, like 7 or 8, when I want to like wait at the beginning of the game and then play 3 cards in a row.
Yeah. Okay.
Or there's another aspect that's not just playing creature. Like I'm gonna call them creature cards, but they're basically it's like Guile, or from
what
Street
do they
Fighter.
do?
They're the monsters.
Yeah. Okay.
The creature cards are the cards. So okay, Jill is a hero that is the the deck's representation.
Oh,
and then there are cards in the deck
I see.
that are like Ken,
Yeah.
Guile,
Okay.
different people from Resident Evil, monsters from Monster Hunter, and you don't have to have a deck that's just Resident Evil characters with Resident Evil.
Yeah,
heroes.
you could make whatever you want.
Exactly. So like Jill, I have a monster from Monster Hunter in my deck.
Yeah. Okay.
And shit like that. So the other thing, other than just playing a card and then it attacks or has health, is that you have, this is the best way I'm going to be able to explain it. You know, in Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how the counter chain works?
Yes. Yeah.
Where it's like spell speed?
Yeah.
That's the entire counter and buff game in the entire game.
Oh, really?
So generally, if you do something that's abnormal, that's not just I play a monster, right? Then it goes into this thing called like, I can't remember what it's called actually. It's like action phase or some shit like that. And it counts down. You play a card. Then I get to play a card. Then you can respond by playing a card. And it still counts as your action points.
Yeah.
So if I had 7 action points and I had 5 cards in my hand and 2 of them are, I'm going to call them counter cards.
Okay.
Where it buffs my character or does damage to your characters. That's part of your action points.
Yeah, okay.
So if you have 0 action points, you can't counter.
You can't do, yeah, you're not doing shit. Does the counter work the same way like Yu-Gi-Oh! Spell Speed works, where it's like the last card?
No, so it does and it doesn't. It goes from the last card, but every card is still in effect. So I can play a card. Let's say I start the chain off by saying, I want to buff my character with plus 3 damage.
Okay,
and then you play a card. I'm just going to go give random numbers and stuff like that. That's like, I destroy one of your characters, or I do 3 damage to one of my characters. That's what you play, right?
Yeah, so I would do damage to one of your characters.
Yeah, right. Then I say, okay, now I want to play a card where I do 3 damage to one of my characters, right? And I can pick.
Yeah.
But I do 4 damage to one of your characters randomly.
Right, so you would pick the one that I'm already damaging or something?
No, that one's random.
Oh,
or you would pick the one that's already damaged. So there are times where I'll play that card on myself on a character that's about to die anyways, or is halted because they can't do anything anyways, and I'll just sacrifice them.
Just make use out of them anyways.
Exactly. Yeah. But the way the chain goes when you do the action phase is whatever card gets played last gets played first.
Yeah.
And then it goes down the chain from last played to first played.
Okay, yeah, no, that's how Yu-Gi-Oh! Works as well.
Well, I thought Yu-Gi-Oh! You can also cancel cards before they even come into play.
I mean, you can, like, if you use something like a counter trap, then yeah. But that's only because the way spell speeds work in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is once a counter trap is played, the only thing that could match it is another counter trap.
Of the same speed, yeah.
Yeah. I'd imagine there's nothing like that in this game where there's different cards that have different levels of spell speed.
No, it's not like that at all. It's just whatever's played last gets played first.
Yeah, okay.
In the order all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah, so it goes bottom to up, I guess. Or
I consider it like a stacking, so visually.
Oh,
for me,
you consider it stacking? I suppose. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because
I consider it going downwards myself, but yeah. Okay, doesn't matter. That's semantics. Yeah. Okay.
So then that's the basics of the game.
Oh man,
I haven't played online yet with anybody, but apparently you can do online play.
Okay.
I've just been trying to get a handle on the game and like maybe make a deck a little bit better. And just understanding game mechanics, which is why I've mostly been using Jill.
How is the freemium system? Like, do you feel like you need to pay for shit to get?
So far, I haven't had to pay for anything, and I don't feel like I need to pay for anything.
That's good.
And a lot of the like login bonuses or event bonuses that I've just like, you log in, you get free money. I don't know how to spend it yet, and I don't know how to craft cards.
Okay.
But so far, when I was listening to Wooly talk about it, he hasn't spent any money either. And he's like, anytime I want to make a card, I can just go and craft it, and it's not a big deal.
I suppose. I mean, it's harder with like comparing the game to like bigger streamers because like usually, almost always, these games have like, if you get people to use our coupon code, we'll give you a little bit of currency, whatever.
Well, when he was talking about it, he wasn't talking about it in a paid promotion type sense. He's playing it as a like, I heard about this game and I'm going to play it.
Okay, so
it's a personal. It's like a personal recommendation as opposed to I'm getting paid to recommend it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it's a little bit more genuine.
Well, I mean that's a good thing. I mean, my philosophy for like free, because I know a lot of people just hate the idea of giving money to a free game whatsoever. My philosophy is, if you're getting like 10, 20 hours of playtime out of it, giving $1 or $2 is fine. Because like,
I agree with that for the most part, except for with shitty,
games that force you to wait or something like that.
Like just shitty economy. So, for example, I've mentioned this before. Smite, I spent a bunch of money on, right?
Yes.
Because the economy within the game, what you pay for and what you get and how you obtain things and what they give for free is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's
as
all
an
right.
exchange,
Yeah,
right? No, I don't play a lot of games that are that free-to-play type model.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side, I love Rainbow Six Siege, but they have the worst possible fucking economy system when it comes to paying for things.
Yes.
Right? It's like, you want the heroes or the operators from last season? $40.
You know what?
Was it 3 seasons ago? $40.
The worst thing about that is that game was a paid game too.
Yeah.
Like if it was a totally free to play game, I could let that pass
But
a little
to be
bit
fair,
more.
you also get a pack of the original operators for buying the game.
Like how many of those are there?
Like, oh god, I can't remember. It was 2 for each. Sorry, it was 4 for each
For each
unit,
side?
but
Or
2
like
on
four-
either side for attacker and defense. And I
Oh,
believe
so-
there was 8 CTUs.
Okay.
So you're getting like 16 characters.
Oh, okay. 16 characters is a lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
whereas Smite is like, here's
It's like
2 from every different
Pantheon.
class.
Oh, so
on
you
free
get Baron.
rotation.
Oh, every class. I thought every Pantheon.
No, that would be pretty good.
That pretty much guarantees Baron is free for everyone.
Yeah, and also it's on rotation. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Smite
if
is
you're
on
good with a
rotation.
certain character, you're fucked after that point.
Mm-hmm.
They do give away a lot of free characters. Like I remember, I think it's Cupid's like 750 favor. So login
Okay,
bonuses
that's pretty
alone
good,
when
yeah.
you get it, or like I think Artemis is like 1250.
So not every god costs gems.
No, not every god costs 550. Sorry, 5,000.
5,050.
500.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Which again is still good that you can buy with in-game currency. But again, Siege, a game that I do like, fuck you, pay me
yeah.
$40 if you want the new
$40,
operators,
almost
or
the price of a new game.
or you can save up 20,000 in-game currency. And trust me, that takes way longer than 5,000, and there's no login bonuses for Siege.
I don't know how I don't know if I like gaming nowadays because like on the one hand we get new content, which is great, like content for
That's
games that
usually
we're
free.
enjoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even talking about free content. I'm just saying content in general.
Okay.
On the other hand, we sometimes have to pay ridiculous amounts for it.
Yeah.
But like, back in the past, like there'd be games that we loved, but if we wanted new shit, we'd have to wait till the new game came out. New content was not coming our way,
No, I know. It's like it's a weird like question of what do you want, a quote unquote full product up front, but then the desire to want more, or knowing that more is going to come, but it's going to cost you something.
It's going to cost you something.
If not time at the very least.
Which is Smite. Like that's basically what Smite is.
But that's why I say like Smite, more than most games that I've ever played that are free to play or have that type of model, they have one of the best economies when it comes to
They have a decent one, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially
Like-
because of the login bonus. You get a decent amount of gems from the login bonus.
Yeah, I mean it's not very much considering how much everything costs.
Yeah,
but it's free.
It's free. Compared to most other free games, I would say it's a decent chunk.
Yeah, and now they updated like the middle of this year where you don't even need to be consecutive anymore.
Yeah, no, it's just every 7th day you log, or every 6th and 7th day you log in.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is it was so much better.
Yeah. So again, if you do it every single year, you should have every day of the year. Theoretically, you have 5,200 gems.
Something like that.
No.
Decent chunk.
Yeah, no, 5,000 because it's 100 every week. No, 50 every week.
There we go.
50 every week, so that would be
50 every week.
2,600.
Is that right? Yeah. Because multiply it by 56? 52.
52.
I did the same thing last week. I keep thinking there's 56 weeks in
Yeah.
a year.
You missed the 26 and 52.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah, I can't do that in my head. What is that going to be? Yeah, I'm not even going to try to do that in my head.
Someone else can do it who's not listening.
Yeah. Someone who's not listening. I play like the Dragon Ball game on my phone, and that's got a very good economy. Like maybe it's just because of the point where I am, where I've played it so much, where I've unlocked so much crap that I don't even need to get the new characters when they're out, although I still try to. But like, I don't know, the game gives you a shit ton of free like currency and stuff, like a shit ton.
Yeah, because they wanted to get you hooked.
Yeah,
into the
which
game.
they did, and I do give them money. So not the most, and I've stopped paying into it. But the most expensive game that I've played was probably Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, just in general?
Yeah, because like buying packs and shit.
Yeah.
And you get like you get such a small chance to get the cards you want. But on the plus side, at least they make it so that cards are taken off of the, what's the word I'm looking for? They're taken off the rotation once you've gotten them enough times, something like that.
You can't get the same one twice.
Something,
like
something
Overwatch,
like that.
where you just get refunded if you get
yes
the same skin or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you rolled the same skin, so here's 100 in-game currency.
Money back, yeah. So they're taken off of the pool once you're.
So you're always getting new things.
Yeah, well, essentially, like let's say it works the same way like in real life, where there's like different boxes, and each box has like shitty commons, maybe okay rares, and then ultra rares.
Okay.
So you just keep opening packs and packs and packs. You spend the in-game currency. Eventually, like the commons are going to be taken out of the pool, and then you're going to get to the ultra rares.
Okay.
The ultra rares you can only get once each, and then once you get the card you want, or you get all the ultra rares, you can reset the box, and then it resets the pool.
Oh, okay. So if you want addition, like multiples of a certain, I don't know how the game system works.
Yeah.
But is it cards?
It's cards, yeah.
Okay. So if you want multiple of the same like common card, you can reset the box.
You can reset the box, yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, typically you won't want I mean, you will, but like getting multiples of the commons isn't that much of a problem, because in each box you can get something like 10 of each common card. Even though you can only use 3 in a deck, whatever, they give you 10 just to dilute the pool, make it harder to get the ultra rares.
As you do.
Yeah.
It's just funny because they're not even printing stuff. It's just digital.
All digital.
But it's the same type of like mentality.
Yeah. I mean, to their credit, they're always updating the game, you know, and that costs money in itself. Okay. It's not like updates are done for free from their end either. So, but the Dragon Ball game, fucking, like, I almost never have to pay a penny. Like, I don't know how to explain it. They just give you so much crap for free. Like, even all the ultra rare characters, I get almost all of them for free.
Is that just because you've been playing a lot?
I mean, that's probably part of it.
Because I was going to say, that's probably a system that's based off of people who are, again, impatient.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, maybe.
It's like, I want this now. Mm-hmm. I don't want to grind for 2 months to get this ultra rare.
Yeah, that could be the case. It would be kind of worthless to do that. Like, the whole point of, in the Dragon Ball game at least, the whole point of, like, doing these really long extended missions is so that you can get the currency so that you can buy the characters.
Yeah.
But if you're just paying money to get the characters, like, in my mind, like, why play the game? Like, there's no.
Is there a PvP component?
Oh, I guess there is the PvP
That's
component.
what it is.
Yeah, and there's a raid component now too, which is fun.
That's interesting.
Yeah, which
is
weird.
Co-op like raid?
It's co-op, yeah, and because it's live battles, it's neat. I have not played anything like it.
Okay.
It's just you and a random other person online versus a really strong bot together.
Nice.
And he focuses attacks on either one or both of you, and you can, if you know like the bot is going to do something that's going to like kill your opponent, you can press this button and then you take the hit instead.
Oh, okay. That's
you
cool.
can like take the hit for them. You can like push them aside and stuff. Yeah.
Can you like type to the person to coordinate?
Unfortunately not. And the game moves too fast that even if you could, you wouldn't want to. Like,
I figured that would be it.
Make assumptions. There's this the way the ultimates work in that game is you sacrifice whatever card is in your hand.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. And if your opponent sacrifices the same card in their hand, it cancels your ultimate.
Same card?
Yeah, it's basically if they match what card you're sacrificing.
But do they know what you're going to play?
No, they don't know. So it's a guessing game. If they get the wrong card, then you get your ultimate attack success. Like,
is it like a rock paper scissors where does it have to be like literally the same card?
It has to be. There's only 4 cards in the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's attack, and I say cards because they are kind of drawn from a deck. But there's attack, melee attack, range attacks, special attack, and buff or debuff.
Oh, okay.
Buff or debuff is the same color.
But within those 4 groups, there's a variation of cards.
No, it's literally just those 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how does it work?
Each like
what is the attack card different from like a different attack card in your hand?
They're all the same. It's more character dependent. Like an attack, some characters will do more damage with attack cards. Other characters will do more damage with a ranged attack card.
Okay.
Other characters will do more. I guess I forgot the last one. Other characters will do more damage with like a special attack card.
Okay.
But whatever. You get your ultimate similar to the way you mentioned. You just build it up over time.
Of AP, okay.
Yeah. And if the opponent matches it, then you you basically use your ultimate and you say, I'm going to sacrifice my range attack card.
Okay.
And if the opponent decides that, or guesses that it's a range,
attack?
then, they cancels out your ultimate, which fucking sucks when it happens.
But it's a 1 out of 4 chance.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm going against a bot, so I'm not going to try to mind game this thing. But in the co-op mode, I just keep sacrificing the same card every time.
Yeah.
Because if my opponent matches my card, or not my opponent, if the teammate matches my card, we do extra damage. So it's me signaling to him, I'm always using this one card.
Yeah.
Just do the same thing as me.
And if you get blocked, it's like whatever, but there's a good chance that the AI won't.
99% of the time the AI fucks up.
Wait till they put in learning AI into the game.
Fuck, that's gonna be brutal. Have you seen shit like that? Like YouTube videos where they talk about learning AI?
Not in depth, no. I've just done the ones like watch the video of them like having a conversation and whatnot, but nothing too in depth.
There's one that's kind of cool where it's they put these two teams of tag. I guess it would be tag. You can consider it the game tag.
Okay.
So it's two teams of learning AI against each other, and the arena has like things that they can use to block each other.
Okay.
So there's one team that's like the tag team where it's like they have to go touch the other players.
Yeah, they're it.
They're it. Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
I forgot about that.
That's the technical term. And then so initially, like it starts out as like neither really knows what's going on because they have to build up the learning. They have to learn as they go. And eventually it gets to the point where like the AIs are like abusing the physics engine to try to get each other or try to hide from each other.
Yeah, okay.
So
I
like
watch that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, so like it's like clipping through walls and stuff. Like this is after I would probably imagine like thousands of trials really quickly
because they keep building up on strategy.
Yeah, it keeps building, but because it's like two learning AIs building on each other. Once the team figures out how to like clip through walls, like the other team figures out how to stop them from doing that and shit like that. Or the team will like figure out how to You mentioned something similar last time when you were talking about Fear, like where it had a box where it shot them through somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently the team found a way to use a box to like shoot itself up through something so it could just like go over walls and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Again, like abusing the physics engine. It's cool that these things are like figuring out like that almost like they're in their own world.
Well, it's just like humans, right?
Yeah.
When they play a game, it's like, if I like hide in this wall, it's like such a low field of vision that they can only attack me from one position or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that was not how the game was intended to be played.
Absolutely not. But I just think it's more fascinating that like we as humans do it with games, right?
Yeah.
Like for us, a game is a different world, but these things are doing it within their own world.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. Like that would be like if we as humans managed to, I don't know, break the Matrix or something.
I don't know. I feel like people do that when they're like breaking the law and shit like that. Like when you do fucking like some Ponzi scheme or you rig the real estate market or what is it, the stock market. I feel like that's like rigging the game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To a certain degree, it's like, yeah, I know.
Using the system.
I'm not actually using the system the way it was intended. I'm kind of cheesing it to get a certain result.
You know what? And that's kind of the only way the system gets better. It needs people to abuse it.
I suppose. Mm-hmm. I think it's refined to stop that kind of shit is the way that most people
that's what it's supposed to be,
yeah.
But it only you get more refined as you beat something down.
That is actually kind of true.
Yeah. So, we kind of went off on a tangent.
That's all right. That's what we meant to do.
How was your week other than the mobile gaming thing? Because you already went in depth with that.
It was all right.
Did you go working out yet?
I did today.
Like at the gym, or did you just do it here?
No, at the gym.
Okay.
I don't have I think I mentioned it before. I don't have the friggin' effort to want to work out here quite yet. Yeah.
It also, like, I was thinking here might also be more of a pain because you're above people.
A little bit, but only for certain things. Like today at the gym, we were doing like slam ball stuff.
What the fuck is a slam ball?
It's like you take a medicine ball and you throw it on the ground.
Yeah, okay, you definitely can't do that here.
So that was one of the things where I'm like, well, I can't do this at home if I do end up doing the thing where I buy a kettlebell. But a lot of the kettlebell stuff, it's like the whole point is to have control.
Yeah, you hold on to you're not letting go of the kettlebell.
Exactly. So I feel like I can do a lot of that here and not have to worry about it. But
don't be a gym bro and slam everything on the ground.
Don't drop your weights, bro.
Yeah. Oh, that's so annoying when people.
But yeah, the gym was pretty good. Okay. Again, she worked me the fuck out today.
That's brutal.
It was a lot of physical stuff, like.
It's a gym. I should hope it's physical stuff.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, but like heavy physical. Like I was actually
Okay.
getting to a point where I was sweating. Like I don't sweat very easily unless I'm extremely hot.
Okay.
Or like mentally stressed out.
Yeah.
But like physically working out, I don't sweat that often.
Oh, really?
I get like a little damp, but I don't drip sweat like some people.
Yeah.
But today I was almost on the verge of like sweating, and so much upper body shit. Like the one set that we did, there was 2 different sets that she usually does where it's like 10, 15 minutes of the same thing going in rotation. But it was, I had I don't know what the weight is actually, but it said 20 on it.
Okay.
It's
On the
20
kettlebell?
pounds. No, it was medicine ball.
It's got to be 20 pounds.
So it's 20 pounds. You raise it above your head, and then you throw it on the ground, but go into like a squat.
Yeah.
Do that 10 times.
So how do you pick it up? Like, I just want to know as it bounces, or like when it hits. Like, I just want to know your process of.
Oh, okay.
It.
So I do kind of cheese it where I'll pick it up on the bounce.
Okay.
But it's not like a dodgeball or one of those like rubber springy ones. It's a medicine ball. So it hits the ground and then it lifts off the ground about an inch. Just a little bit,
yeah.
Right? But I'll catch it.
Yeah.
But I'm still in a squat.
The point is you get down to the squat and then you get it again. Yeah. That's the important
And then
part.
you do that 10 times.
Yeah.
Then you get down on one knee.
Jesus, fuck.
Right? And then you do that 10 times.
Oh my god.
And then you switch to the other knee and then you do that 10 times.
Again, like up and down? Like you move up and then...
No, you don't go all the way standing. You're just like kneeling.
Okay.
I don't know how to do it.
Like, but I know what you mean by knee. Like one forward,
one knee
one
down.
back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you go do a little bit of like a stretch.
Okay.
Just a quick one to kind of relieve yourself. And then do 9 of the throw squats.
Jesus Christ.
9 on one knee, 9 on the other knee. And then you go all the way down. And I got to like...
kneecaps must have been like fucking...
No. There's they have pads at the gym. And then they also have like knee pads at the gym that you can put on the ground. So that your knee has something to impact on.
Your knee isn't touching the ground in this case, is it?
No, it is.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay. All right.
So like one foot is flat.
Okay.
With your knee bent.
Oh.
And then the other one's knee in the ground.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Jesus fuck.
And then you go all the way down to 1. I only made it to like 6.
Holy shit.
Before the thing was over. But man, my arms were fucking on fire.
Holy fuck.
And then the other one was you get the battle ropes, which are these long fucking ropes. They're like 15, 20 feet long.
And they're weighted.
A little bit, but they're pretty thick. There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
And you just double the fist.
Oh man, double is harder than the
one and two?
interchanging.
Yeah. The interchangeable one, I feel like it tires me out more because I go fast.
Oh, you think so?
I have little baby arms.
Okay.
I feel like it works me out like harder, but the double one, I can
feel like
do it.
More effort is in the double one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's different exercise for different people. But you do 20 of those.
Holy shit.
And then your partner does 20.
Oh my god.
And then you go into a plank position and you take a medicine ball and you roll it back and forth between your partner. So like me and
while you're planking?
Yeah, while we're planking.
Okay.
And then my right hand will have the medicine ball.
Okay.
And I'll roll it to your right hand.
Oh.
And then you roll it to me.
Jesus Christ.
We do that 5 times each. Like
okay.
I pass it to you 5 times and you pass it to me 5 times.
Yes.
And then we switch hands. 5. Okay. And then we go back to the ropes. 18.
Oh my god.
18 for the other person.
This is brutal.
Yeah, and that's
how long did it take?
That was like another 10 minutes.
No, I mean the whole circuit
whole class
or whatever.
Is 10. Sorry, this is an hour.
Is an hour?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But it starts out with a decent amount of like stretching and warming, getting your body like in a groove where it can get some work. But there was a lot of physical. Like,
and then you
body.
die.
It felt like it. Man, my arms were dying on the slam ball thing. And I felt like I was getting behind on people. Compared to some people, they were like 1 or 2 sets ahead of me.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it was fucking rough. My arms were on fire. And again, like I said, I was starting to actually get to the point where my arms were hurting. And then when I was doing the rolling thing, strangely enough, it wasn't my arms that were hurting. My legs were fucking shaking.
I feel like that makes sense to me.
Really?
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to me because I'm like, this seems like it's all upper body. Because to me, I'm just thinking of my back legs as like just the legs of a chair. Where my upper body and my arms are doing all the work between the rolling and having to put pressure on one side.
Yeah.
In my head, that's what it is, right? But by that point at the end of the class, my legs were like starting to give out. Like I was telling my partner, I'm like, my legs are shaking. It's fucking crazy. And he's like, yeah, I know. And like my legs are just doing this. They're like having a seizure.
I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Well, I mean, it's like that would be mostly core, I think.
Yeah. So probably just running down that my legs are taking the weight.
Yeah.
I'm just not noticing it because my legs are actually decently strong. But it's just weird because it felt like everything was core and upper body.
Jesus fuck. I don't think I could do that, man. That seems super
It's
intense.
conditioning, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty good for the gym. Work's been all right. Kind of slow, kind of annoying. Nothing really
annoying
special.
because it's slow, or annoying for other reasons?
Other reasons, but they're not reasons that I should really give too much of a shit about. But
Okay.
I do anyways. Like one of the coworkers I have, in the last 3 days, he's only printed 12 shirts.
How is that possible?
He only had one job, really. And then he came in later than I do normally on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't tell anybody. So then I had to take up his work for the one job he did have for that day, which put me behind a little bit.
How many shirts did he have to print?
For what?
For that 12 shirt one.
There was 12.
So it was just the 12.
It
That
was
was
12.
the whole job.
Yeah, it's just that.
I don't understand how could you do that little in a day? Like, wouldn't that drive you crazy?
No, for him, I guess not. He just fucks around. It's annoying. Anyways, I try not to get too into it because I'm just like, I don't pay him.
Yeah.
And I'm not the shop manager, so I'm not going to fucking and I don't like ratting on people, but then I had someone that was from the front office that gave me shit, basically, for the oven's kind of broken. It doesn't automatically shut down. So I have to wait for it to cool down to turn it off.
I remember. I think, I've seen this.
Right?
You do
And
this
she was like, are you guys clocked out? But meanwhile, I'm there having to wait for the dryer to cool down. So I'm like, no. It takes like 10, 15 minutes for the dryer to cool down.
Yeah.
So I'm here, and you're paying me. And then I guess she must have said something or complained just generally that my boss heard. And then he came and it was like, what's up with the dryer? And stuff like that. And I'm like, well, the dryer's old and busted. It doesn't automatically shut off. So I have to stay here for 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. And
You know what I mean?
he didn't like hearing that or something?
I guess he wasn't like very satisfied with it. But at the same time, on
It's
that
your
day,
time.
there was, the idea is that I should be doing something else. But that day, the entire thing was fucked up where I was waiting for films for a job pretty much all day.
Okay.
And they never came, to the point where I was vacuuming the floor around my shop on like a Thursday.
So you're still keeping busy.
I'm trying to keep busy, but then by the time the end of the day comes, I'm like, I got nothing to do.
Yeah.
I just vacuumed up the oven.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm getting to the point where there's not much for me to do. There's no frames for me to burn. I'm not going to count jobs for next week today.
Yeah.
Like, I just doesn't seem like it's necessary. Like I could, but it's just not I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm making excuses, but at the same time, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
And then I'm hearing that kind of bullshit. Meanwhile, I'm doing like 80 to 90% of the jobs that are actually coming in, making most of the money. This motherfucker prints 12 shirts in a day, and nobody bats a fucking eye. And over the course of 3 days, he doesn't print anything. You know what I mean? And then on Friday, I printed this like 500-piece job that he was supposed to help me like catch at the end so it can go fast.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I came back from lunch. Motherfucker's gone. He just left at the end of the day. So he came in late, didn't tell anybody, then left, didn't tell anybody.
So he came in late and left early and didn't tell
Yeah,
anybody
which
on both ends?
I'm not really too butthurt about him coming in late thing, because I come in late all the fucking time.
Yeah, I mean, so do I.
For me, it's just like, I come in late, I stay later.
Yeah.
To make up for the time, right? This motherfucker didn't even tell anybody he was leaving. And I needed him to a certain degree. So I had to get someone else from the other side of the shop to come help me, you know what I mean? Shit like that, that's kind of annoying for work. I'm trying to just let it roll off my shoulder, not complain too much, but...
Yeah.
The moment that I get pulled aside being like, you're not doing blah, 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 I'm just going to be like, listen, this is what he did in the last 3 days. Fuck you. You talk to me when that gets sorted out.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with you, like, not wanting to shit on your coworkers and stuff. Like, you don't want to
be a rat, you know what I mean? Like, I hate to be that kind of, like, I don't snitch thing, but it just seems so unnecessary. It's like, I'm not your boss. So why the fuck would I, like... be scrutinizing what you're doing in a day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I personally find it hard to do nothing in a day, and I'd rather just go home. But that's me. I have a different work ethic than most people. Yeah. Most people are just like, if I can get paid to do nothing, I'll get paid to do nothing.
Yeah,
I'm like, if I got nothing to do, I want to go the fuck home.
Yeah.
Your salary, so you are getting paid when you're sitting at home taking a shit. Theoretically. I always make that joke.
Yeah.
But you're also on the clock all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even take a break today.
Yeah, that's bullshit, dude. I don't care. Even in the kitchen.
I came in late.
Oh, okay. But still, like, even when I was working in a kitchen and it's like, you can't take a break whenever you want, I'm still taking a break eventually. Yeah. I'll admit that, there has to be an opportune time for me to take a break, but you're not telling me that I can't take a break. Fuck you.
Well, I mean, so no one has ever told me I'm not allowed to take a break.
Yeah.
It's the workload.
That's
it's
bullshit,
like
though.
There's enough there that I can't leave it alone.
Fuck that.
And then, like, whenever I do try to go on break, like, something happens, I'm like, all right, now I got to deal with this shit.
fuck that, dude. Take at least 15 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just chill the fuck out for a little bit because you need that refresher. If you're just always working, it's so annoying. But yeah, so not too big of a deal. Mostly just slow work. Been playing more Smite.
Yes, I
Been
noticed
playing
that
more
when
Apex.
I came here.
Yeah.
That I did not notice.
Well, I've just, here and there
Okay.
thrown a few games.
How's the I forgot what it's fucking called. The challenge for Apex where like you have to get a certain amount of points.
Oh, just the weekly challenges? Yeah, they're
sorry, not the weekly one.
The Battle Pass.
Battle Pass, thank you.
Oh yeah, it's coming pretty good. I'm thinking I'm at like 65.
Oh shit!
100.
And how much time is left?
I think like 50 some days.
Oh fuck, you got tons of time to finish that.
And there's like still quests that I can do for the weekly challenges. Like every week there's another set of like 8 long-term challenges, like get 10 downs with a particular weapon, get a top 3 win with this particular character, or use this particular character's like special ability this many times.
Yeah.
Shit like that. So you can build that stuff.
General like weekly, daily challenge.
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the daily challenges also accumulate like that too.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. I'm falling a little bit behind compared to the pace I was making at the beginning of the Battle Pass, but I'm pretty sure I can get to 100, if not 110 by the end of the Battle Pass.
And
pretty
you need
easy.
to get to 80 to get your money back, right? If I remember correctly?
It was like 92 or something
92?
like that.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
to get the last 100 coins. Funny enough to mention about the economies, Apex also has a shitty economy, except for the Battle Pass because it pays for itself.
Yeah.
That's the only good thing about Apex's economy. Otherwise, it's shit. It's so expensive to buy anything, and the minimum entry cost. Well, this isn't Canadian, so it's $10 American, but for Canadians, it's $13.50 to get 1,000 coins. And with 1,000 coins,
painful.
you buy jack shit.
Fucking EA ruining that game.
Well, not ruining it. They're doing all right, but yeah, the economy part of it, not great.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the economy was like before, but I had been told, or not been told, I should say, had heard from like YouTubers and stuff that like when the game first came out, when EA thought it was like a piece of shit, nobody was gonna, like they had no faith in it. The economy was better, and then
people hooked.
And then when the game got popular, EA made subtle changes to the economy basically it was just like make more money. We had faith in this game the whole time.
Yeah, well, fuck them. EA sucks dick.
They do.
But yeah, the Battle Pass I think is the best deal.
Okay.
If you play it smart, you have every single Battle Pass that ever comes out.
Yeah.
It just requires you to play.
You just have to keep playing.
It's not too hard
Which
to do.
in itself is kind of a cost. Like you said before, it's your time, right?
Yeah. It just pulls you away from other games, but it's not too bad. And again, by playing it and not taking 2 months off, you keep a pretty good pace with the Battle Pass. So I'm not too worried about that. With random shit, I've been trying to watch more movies, like I said. So I watched Heat last night.
Oh, how is it? I've been meaning to watch Heat.
It's 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit going on in the movie, but it's a really good movie.
Yeah, I'm told it's quite good.
I liked it.
It's basically a classic at this point.
Yeah. It has a lot of people in it that were famous, are famous, and then became more famous. Like, you'll see people who are like not the main characters, but like friends of the main characters or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And you've seen them in other movies, even in smaller parts and stuff like that. Like, they're not crazy famous.
Yeah.
But we kept seeing people in the movie who were like, I recognize that person. I recognize that person.
Huh.
Natalie Portman's in it.
Yeah.
As like a teenager. It's her like second movie.
It is an old movie.
Yeah, 1995. So pretty cool.
Jesus fuck.
Pretty cool. For Al Pacino and Robert De Niro's first movie together.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And they play like one's the cop and one's the criminal.
Okay, all right.
Interesting. I was reading some movie facts about it, and apparently the movie's like 170 minutes long, but they only share 10 minutes of screen time throughout the entire movie. So it is like they have just their own things that they're doing throughout the movie, but it's pretty good. I'm trying to think of what else. They did like they're bank robbers or they're robbers.
Okay.
Or like they're
don't spoil too much.
High level criminals, and they're robbing a bank in a particular scene. To prep for this scene, they got like the actors to basically fake / really stake out a bank.
I see what you're saying.
What I mean?
Yeah.
To the point where one of the actors actually went to the teller with fake, not like demands for like a robbery, but like a fake like script of like what they were gonna do to interact with the teller and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but it was an actual teller, is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
But
Yeah.
they were in on it as not like the tellers weren't in on it, but the
Yeah.
actors like Robert De Niro and
Yeah.
whoever was his team were in on it as like we're staking this place out to rob it
Yeah.
as a way to get experience for the movie and shit like that.
Oh man, that's what they describe method acting as, right?
No, method acting more like I am this character,
Oh.
and then you like live and breathe it to a point where like there's a movie called like Man in the Moon
Okay.
where Jim Carrey plays Andy Kaufman
Okay.
to the point where on set, off camera, he was still playing Andy Kaufman, and Andy
He
Kaufman's
couldn't just like switch it off or anything.
or he was so invested in the role, some would say,
Mm-hmm.
that he couldn't switch it off, or he didn't switch it off.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Andy Kaufman had this like greasy side character he played,
Okay.
where he dressed up in a fat suit and had glasses and shit like that. I can't remember what the character's name, and he would do that
Wow.
on set and then fuck with people and shit like that.
So Jim Carrey's a method actor?
For that particular movie, he was.
Okay.
And there's a whole movie that details Jim Carrey being crazy on that movie set
Jesus
and like fucking
fuck.
with people and like basically acting like Andy Kaufman would have acted if he was doing a movie.
Okay. All
and
right.
shit like that.
So any other movie? Or sorry, go ahead.
That was the main movie that I watched. I didn't watch any other movies or anything like that.
Mhm.
But continuing with my MGS streak,
Yes.
I watched. I finished Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay. All right.
Man, a lot of shit tries to get wrapped up in that that game.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, they try adding in so much stuff to the point where Kojima wasn't even able to finish the fucking game. Like,
Really?
there's chapter 1, which is like half the game. I think I told you about it last time.
Yeah.
It's a 9-hour movie that this guy did. The first chapter alone and the prologue are like 5 to 6 hours of it.
Really?
Then chapter 2 is like another 3 hours of it. And then the last like 45 minutes to an hour is like unfinished footage / like unfinished cutscenes, like to the point where they had movements and stuff like that for the cutscene, but the character's mouths don't move.
They never finished MGS5 or
Technically, it got shipped, but there was more to the game that Kojima wanted to do that wasn't finished.
Oh, interesting.
So by the end of the game, there's like a bunch of okay. So the first chapter is like a complete game.
Okay.
Where you're getting fucked over by Skullface, who's the main antagonist, and then you kill Skullface and thwart his plans.
Is that basically Ground Zeroes?
No, Ground Zeroes is what leads into MGS5.
Oh, okay. I
It's
thought it
before
was
the
supposed to be like
9-year
the first
coma
mission.
that
Okay.
Big Boss goes into.
Okay.
And
all
then
right.
MGS5 starts with a prologue where you wake up as quote-unquote Big Boss.
All right.
And then you escape the medical facility, and then the game starts.
Okay.
Chapter 1. And then you basically rebuild Outer Heaven.
Fake Big Boss, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phantom.
Okay. Phantom.
Or they call him Venom Snake.
Okay. all right.
Punished Venom Snake is what they list in every mission you go on.
Okay. All right.
So then you're rebuilding Outer Heaven, you're going on missions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you end up defeating Skullface
Okay.
and taking the Metal Gear that he makes, Scalanthropus.
All right.
Fucking random ass name. And then the chapter 2 is you kind of continuing Outer Heaven and rebuilding it and stuff like that. But there's like small little chunks of like smaller stories within chapter 2. So there's one story that is an expansion of something that happens in the first chapter, which is this vocal cord parasite that's like a bioweapon, where if I speak English to you and I have the parasite, I transmit a English vocal cord parasite to you, and then the parasite grows in the lungs, and then basically you die.
Jesus fuck Kojima. All right. Okay.
Right? So that's one story where Outer Heaven gets infected and no one knows why or how the virus got transmitted on Outer Heaven because Skullface is dead, and that was his whole thing, was trying to spread this virus.
Okay.
So that technically was wrapped up, but now it's on Outer Heaven. Why is it on Outer Heaven? Nobody knows.
So
You find out that it was Eli, who's White Mamba, who you find in the first chapter, who is Liquid Snake as like a teenager.
Oh,
And
really?
you basically take him to Outer Heaven, and you're trying to like give him structure and shit like that, but he's basically like, fuck you, and then releases that on the Outer Heaven people, or the facility. It only stays to a certain group, but there's a whole mission where Fake Snake or Phantom Snake has to go around basically kill his own men.
Oh,
like
because they
headshot
have
them, they're infected.
Oh my god.
And there's the only way that they're past the point of being able to give them some sort of like inoculation It's just
there's a cure or something.
They
but
do find a cure in the first chapter,
but it has to be taken early enough.
Exactly, before the thing intubates to a point where it grows in their lungs.
Okay, all right.
So there's a part where you just have to go in, you have to execute everybody in the medical facility.
That's sad.
Yeah. So that's one plot line. Then the other plot line is Eli escapes.
Okay.
With all the other child soldiers that you picked up from Africa.
Okay.
And he takes Metal Gear. Like he gets into it and then he flies off the base.
The one with the weird name.
Scalanthropus, yeah.
Scalanthrop.
So that's another little small story of like Eli giving you the finger.
Okay, all right.
And then there's a character that shows up that in the beginning of Ground Zeroes has like a bomb inside of her.
Okay.
And it's made to seem like there's another bomb inside of her that blows up, but it ends up being that actually what happens is the helicopter gets hit with a missile. Like a RPG. Okay, all right. And that's what blows up the helicopter.
Oh, she just thinks it's like
she says, I have another bomb inside me, and then she jumps out of the helicopter, and then the helicopter looks like she explodes. But what happens is she just lands in the water, and then you find her later in the game, you bring her back to outer heaven, and then you try to rehabilitate her. Turns out she has another bomb inside of her. Okay, again, Kojima. Yes. Right? And then she dies. So that story gets wrapped
like with
up.
An explosion or
with an explosion.
Okay, all right. So Kojima makes you think for a while that she does. Yeah. Then she doesn't. Yeah. And then she actually does. Yeah. Okay. Fuck you, Kojima.
And then I'm trying to think what else is another thing. There's a lot of like secret recordings that kind of tie up certain things.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty
from
standard
previous games or
from Metal Gear.
Leftover things. So it confirms that Eli is Liquid Snake. And that he's a clone of Big Boss. Yes. It confirms that Zero, who's the colonel in MGS3, is Cypher. He's like the leader of Cypher. And Cypher is like the organization that's trying to take out Big Boss. Okay, and like fuck him over constantly and has its hands in everything. And Skullface used to be part of Cypher, which is and Cypher is a rogue organization from the American government.
Okay, so they don't work for the American government, though.
But Zero's just like, he's basically trying to do what Big Boss ends up doing later with Outer Heaven and stuff like that. But I think I told you about this last time on the podcast where like a lot of the games of like Portable Ops and Peace Walker, it's basically Big Boss getting good ideas from other people and then implementing them better than they did. Okay. And more successfully. Yeah. This is another one of those times where it's like Cypher is like what Big Boss was trying to do the whole time, except Cypher was doing a kind of like was ahead of the curb. And then Big Boss is like, this is a really good idea. I'm going to do this too. But Cypher's also kind of like helping Big Boss. Yeah. So you find out that when Big Boss went into the coma, it was Zero's plan.
Are you talking about Big Boss or Phantom?
Real Big Boss.
Okay, all right.
Because he did go into a coma for a little while. When Big Boss did go into the coma, it was Cypher's plan to make a fake Big Boss take his place. So that Big Boss, real Big Boss, could go do his thing.
Huh. And which one died first?
I believe is Phantom.
Oh my god, that blows my mind even more.
So then, after I finished MGS5, I watched Metal Gear. Okay. The first game that came out. Not Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
That game was only 17 minutes long. Not like the game, just the movie. Okay. Because it's such a condensed game compared to what Kojima does later with the games, right? And that's where you kill Big Boss. Okay. Fake Big Boss.
Phantom Big
Boss.
But
in the game, you play a Snake who's like 19. He's
Liquid?
Like a Solid Snake.
Or Solid, not Liquid. What am I talking about? Yeah, Solid Snake.
And your colonel in that game is Big Boss. So Big Boss sends you on a mission to go kill Big Boss.
Do you know that or no?
Yeah, well, during the game, because again, it's the first game that came out, so there's no like layers of like Kojima hiding shit from you and stuff like that. So you get told by Big Boss, go on this mission, and then you keep calling Big Boss.
Well, okay, I'm sorry, but I'm a little bit confused. You, as Solid Snake, are fully aware that you're taking orders from Big Boss.
Yeah, but Big Boss.
But you don't know who you're. Do you know who you're killing?
You don't know the implications of who Big Boss is. Okay. And you don't know that until by the end of the game that Big Boss is the one running Outer Heaven.
Okay, all right, okay.
So then you get to the end of the game and Big Boss is like, haha, this is a trick the whole time, fuck you. And then you find out it's Big Boss and you kill him.
And that's
Metal Gear.
No, that's Phantom Big Boss.
That's Phantom Big Boss. Yeah. Because I think that's why in Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake, he comes back, Big Boss comes back, and he's like, I killed you, and he's like, no, you didn't. and then you kill Big Boss again by the end of the game.
Okay, all
but
right.
The jump from Metal Gear to Metal Gear 2 is such a drastic difference. First off, the movie's an hour long compared to the 17 minutes.
So a lot longer.
And
it's a bigger game.
And it's like a movie. Like the way that Kojima starts directing it starts there for how it gets directed like a movie.
Jesus,
it has an intro credits with like a 90s, like you see like digitization of the Metal Gear and like names coming onto screen and like title credits for the voice actors and shit like that.
He needs to just make like a condensed version of this.
Oh no, he's not gonna do that. He's gone from Konami. He doesn't have any stake in it.
That's actually true. Yeah,
walked away and is happy with what he, or sorry, maybe not happy, but he's satisfied with where he left it.
Well, the greatest part about that is no one's gonna be able to like replicate that. Like it's all in his head in a certain way, but like.
And he was there from the beginning. Like he was on the first game. Not as a huge portion of it, but by the second game, he was like the director of it.
He was the shit?
Yeah, he was the shit. It's much more in depth. It starts doing all the weird things that Kojima gets known for, where it's like, you know, double agents, triple agents, and shit like that.
Quadruple
agents and shit like that, yeah.
Penta agent.
By the end of the game, there's a part where you... I can't remember what exactly happens specifically, but something about Solid Snake gets like set on fire so that all of his equipment gets set on fire. And then it's an actual game mechanic where you have to drop all your equipment. And so you go into the last fight with Big Boss with nothing.
Oh, okay. So this is not at the beginning of the game.
No, this is at the end of the game.
Yeah, I was thinking there's like some Sam's bullshit going on here. Okay.
Near the end of the game. Where you have to fight Big Boss and you fight him with a can of hairspray and a lighter. And you set him on fire. It's fucking crazy.
That actually the last fight, or is it okay? Fight. So it's not even like a BS last fight, like post game sort of thing.
No. And I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but in Metal Gear Solid 5, they say that they denuclearize the entire world.
Okay.
And they kind of go along with that idea for Metal Gear 2. But they imply that there are still nukes in the world, but there's a lot less.
Okay, all right.
And it kind of uses real world like denuclearization in part of the story. But MGS5 has a part where they say like there are no more nukes in the world, which gives like Big Boss the upper hand of having nukes.
Is it? I thought the Metal Gears were supposed to be what like replaces the nukes essentially. Like
no,
nukes are less destructive.
They are Metal Gears are walking tanks that are nuclear silos.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. So I guess they would have to have nukes actually.
Yeah, the nuke is a weapon itself. Yeah. The Metal Gear is
it's basically a giant machine.
Gun that shoots the bullet that is the nuke.
I mean, they can also shoot bullets.
Yeah. The funny thing about Metal Gear 2 is that in the story of it, it's like basically nobody has nukes anymore, right? Okay. That's what they say. They say nobody has nukes anymore, right? But Big Boss and his organization on the place that they operate from is called Zanzibar Island.
Okay.
Or Zanzibar Land. I keep saying island, but it says Zanzibar Land.
Okay. It's not surrounded by water, or
I don't know.
All right.
You just know that you go there. It's land.
All right.
But the funny thing about that is Big Boss and his organization goes around and basically says, fuck you, you're not allowed to have nukes, give me your nukes, takes their nukes, and then uses their nukes as a way to like have military supremacy over everybody else. So that Big Boss's organization is basically the only person who's stockpiling nuclear weapons.
And because he's stockpiling nuclear weapons, the other countries have no
way of defending against
it. Like he could just be like, give me your nukes. Like they could launch a nuke at them,
or he steals their scientists and shit like that. Yeah. Like part of the plot of Metal Gear 2 is that there's a scientist who made a petroleum replacement called Oil X.
Okay.
And that's also part of something that Big Boss is trying to get his hands on, because if he can get his hands on that, he controls the world's oil supply.
I see. Okay.
Right?
So is Big Boss supposed to be evil? I don't know very much about Big Boss. So
he's trying to create order in the world by having like an iron fist kind of control.
Right.
So he doesn't believe that governments, because he's been fucked over all the time by governments. Yeah. The American government's fucked him over. The Russian government's fucked him over. Everyone he knows is a double agent and shit like that. He's constantly getting fucked over by governments. And he doesn't believe, from what I've gathered, he doesn't believe that governments can actually do a good job of working together harmoniously. So his solution is basically, I'll control the weapons of the world. I'll
of course
create order in the world,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to get necessarily politically involved with countries and stuff like that. The United States, Canada, Russia, China, they can all operate. That's fine. But at the minute that one of them has a nuke, that's a problem.
Oh, so he's trying to collect the nukes to stop them from using it
Exactly.
on each other?
And like creating like these crazy wars.
Oh.
But he's doing it in such a way that he is the oppressor.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Because he doesn't trust them to be able to do the right thing, either to have proper nuclear deterrence, to even be responsible about having these types of weapons and shit like that. So he's trying to have control over the world through a rogue organization.
Where does this organize? Like, where is it housed? Is it in
Zanzibar?
Oh yeah,
land?
you mentioned that. Yeah.
It seems like it's around the Middle East / Russia China area, like right in the middle there. That's what it seems like. It's
no man's land, basically.
Basically, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of Metal Gear Solid 5 takes place in Afghanistan and Africa and shit like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a lot. So, Metal Gear 2 adds a lot of lore into it.
Did you? So what's the next one you're gonna watch?
Metal Gear Solid, and I watched that today.
Or how was that?
So yeah, I understand why people like Metal Gear Solid so much and why it became such a popular franchise. Like Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, I can kind of like it adds some levels of intrigue, but the gameplay is very simple. But Metal Gear Solid adds a lot of like, wacky shit like Psycho Mantis. Plug the controller port in this thing too,
cool.
Or look on the. This adds a little bit of it in Metal Gear 2, where it's like the back cover of the game has one of the codec codes.
Oh,
and they bring that back in
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
So he builds upon that, but then it adds more layers of intrigue and stuff like that. Interestingly enough, Liquid thinks that he is the inferior of the two clones.
Yeah, he thinks he's the inferior, but he's actually the better one.
He's actually the better version of it.
Yeah.
And you don't care about spoiling or anything, right?
I'm pretty sure I know the story of 1 and 2.
By the end of the game, they imply that there's a third clone, and the third clone is the president of the United States, Solidus Snake.
Yeah, which is the villain of the second.
Yeah, that's what I've heard is that. So,
and from what I can tell, Solidus is supposed to be like just half.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, from what I mean, I might be wrong.
Half what though?
Half good genes, half bad. Like,
okay.
Liquid is the perfect one. Solid is the shit one.
Okay.
Which for some reason he ends up being the best out of all.
Yeah.
And then Solid Dust is supposed to be 50% good, 50% bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. What else happens in the game? Okay, so an interesting thing that happens that Kojima builds upon over the course of 3 games, by the way. So in the first Metal Gear game, there's a character that works with Snake, right?
Are you talking about Solid, or are you talking
Solid Snake?
No, I mean, sorry. Which Metal Gear game are you referring to?
When I say Metal Gear, I mean the first Metal Gear.
Okay, Metal Gear 1.
Metal Gear 1.
Okay, all right.
There's another agent that works with you.
Okay.
He is Gray Fox.
Okay, all right.
Right? In the second game, he is a double agent who tries to kill Snake, right?
Okay, all right.
And works for Big Boss because basically the government fucked him over. Fucked over Gray Fox.
So he joined the rogue organization.
Exactly. And then as Snake, you kill him.
Okay, all right.
In Metal Gear Solid, he comes back because they retrieve his body from the dead.
Yeah.
And then revive him using the genome stuff that becomes all the soldiers that work for Liquid.
That's a sad moment, man.
And he becomes the cybernetic ninja dude.
Yes.
Gray Fox in that game. And he's also doing the same thing he did in the second game where he calls you up on the codec, but it's all scrambled and he's like, I'm just a big fan of you, Solid Snake. So even in the second game when he's trying to kill you, he's also trying to help you get to Big Boss. And then in Metal Gear Solid, he's working for the American government.
Yeah.
He's trying to kill you, but he's also helping you get to the point where you can
He was crucial.
He was super crucial.
Yeah, because
he does a lot of the work for fighting the Metal Gear.
Yeah,
at the
he
end of
does.
the game.
I want to say he does most of the work.
Yeah, Snake shoots the thing to make it so that Liquid can't stay inside the Metal Gear. He has to open up the hatch.
Yeah.
But fucking Gray Fox is the one that's like holding up the Metal Gear's leg by himself and then gets crushed by it and shit like that, and like is actually fighting the Metal Gear for a lot of it. It's fucking crazy. but he ends up actually dying.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just interesting that Kojima built up that character over 3 games, even if he's using the same kind of trope. It's just interesting that these games have such intricate layering.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. I mean, sometimes it just seems, I don't know. I guess
it's
like
tropey.
I should have.
Yeah,
well, it seems like contrived sometimes, where it's just like it's like he's just doing this not because it makes sense, but because it's fun to do.
I suppose.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's good storytelling aspect. Because I mean, look at Metal Gear and the franchise that's become with all this goofy
it's
shit,
huge,
right?
Yeah.
So,
and slight tangent, and we'll get back to Metal Gear.
Yeah.
But like one of my favorite, and unfortunately he passed away, but one of my favorite animators is Monty Oum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And his number one rule, well, I won't say number one, but he followed like the thing called the rule of cool. It's just like, it doesn't have to make sense as long as it looks good.
Yeah.
And that's like, I kind of see Kojima doing a little bit of that too.
Yeah. As long as it passes off as being cool, it's good. It's good. Approved.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's lots of things, like I was talking to Mel about it, and it's like, there are criticisms against Kojima, especially the way that he portrays women.
Mm-hmm.
And by watching all these Metal Gear games, it's like, there's only 1 or 2 women in every single game.
Yeah.
First off.
It's not too many.
Which, again, I write off as being like, well, the games are centered around Snake. He's a man. It's a military organization. Most military organizations are mostly men and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially like a lot of those, majority of Metal Gear takes place like
before the
2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. Like up until Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah.
Which there's only 1 game after that technically in the timeline.
Just 4, and that's it.
Yeah. Everything else takes place before 1995 or 2000.
Yeah.
But in every single one of them, the women are always like, almost exclusively always have some weird mental fucked up thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or they fall for Snake almost instantly.
Yeah.
Like there's a part in Metal Gear 2
mm-hmm.
Where he meets this chick who's an agent
mm-hmm.
working for, I can't remember what government she's working for. I don't think they really specify, but she meets with Snake and then they team up. And within like the half an hour you're in with that game with her,
mm-hmm.
there's a point where you start commiserating with her and she's like falling for you. And she's like,
right.
She dies and she's like, just when I found a nice man that I could have like taken home, kind of deal. It's like, then she dies. And I'm like, motherfucker, you just met Snake. It's not even like another day of the mission. Like all this takes place in like a day. Like that's less of the time that you were with him.
Well, I also like in Metal Gear Solid 5 where I forgot the girl's name, but she has this like defect.
Oh, Quiet. Yeah. So there's more to her that leads up to that. Why she has that thing? It's not a defect. So she actually at the beginning of the game is the one that tries to go and sent to go assassinate Big Boss.
Okay.
But then Big Boss sets her on fire with like alcohol.
Yeah.
And then her whole body gets set on fire. They inject her with the vocal cord parasite. So she has the English vocal cord parasite in her, which is why she never speaks.
Yeah.
But she breathes through her skin.
So, but that part just still doesn't make sense.
That's the criticism of Kojima, where it's like, you put a woman in here, and yeah, she's fucking badass, and she's supernatural, and has these crazy powers and stuff like that. But A, she's not allowed to speak for literally the entire game. Well, not literally, because she does speak by the end of it a little bit. But she has like 10 lines.
Yeah, it's not very much.
And she has to wear like basically no top.
Yeah. The story is written so that she cannot be wearing clothes.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
So there are criticisms that could be had.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Metal Gear Solid 2 takes care of some of that.
Does it? Okay.
Like,
because I know there's that one chick that's like, they call her like an angel or whatever, and she can deflect bullets.
Yeah. Do you want me to spoil that for you?
Well, no, because I'm going to watch it soon.
I won't spoil it.
But I've already had a bunch of it spoiled. Like, I know that Snake's only halfway through the game and Raiden's the other half.
Yeah. I don't think it's half. Like, I honestly think it's like less than a third.
Okay, well, I'm going to find out soon. Yeah. I know that Colonel is an AI construct.
It's something like that. I couldn't, like, I played it as a kid, and that part got through my head. Like, I was able to tell, like, I was thinking at the time, like, I don't think he's human. Like, I thought he was a robot or something.
I was told, because Mel's been, like, watching it with me a little bit here and there, and so she keeps looking up, like, can I even follow this shit? So she looks up synopses.
Yeah.
Apparently, why that was done in the second game was because the voice actor from Metal Gear Solid, the Japanese one, he died.
Oh shit!
By the
Really?
time before the second
I had
game
no
came out.
idea.
So I think that's why they made him a AI construct in the second game.
Okay.
To kind of mitigate the fact that they wanted that character to be in the game, but they don't want to like be shitty and just hire a new voice actor.
Yeah.
Because David Hayter, the guy who does Snake, did Snake for almost every single Metal Gear game except for 5.
Really?
Where they got Keith Sutherland.
Oh, I didn't know
but
that.
I think the reason why they did that, Kojima being a sneaky bastard that he is, he did that as a way to be like, this isn't Big Boss.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But at the same time, Big Boss in the game, the real Big Boss, is also voiced by Keith Sutherland.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of like, fuck you, but there's also a little bit of like, it's cool, right? It's cool, right? So, there's some things. But David Hayter, he did it for, as far as I know, he did Metal Gear Solid 4, he did 2, he did Metal Gear Solid, and he even did real Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah, okay, alright, yeah.
So he did, and he also did the Portable Ops and Peace Walker.
Oh, he played Snake in those as well?
He played them for every single game,
Jesus, fuck.
except for 5.
5, okay.
So, interesting. What else about MGS5? The biggest criticism I have, and this is only from like a gameplay standpoint, is that all the bosses and boss fights generally suck in Metal Gear Solid games. The game is, for me, and probably the best reason why I'm watching them as the movies, is story, general stealth gameplay combat, boss battles. It goes in that order for quality for me.
The Metal Gear fight in Metal Gear Solid 2 is pretty fun, but that's about it.
Because like Metal Gear, the 2 Metal Gear games for NES or Super NES, it's basically, the first game is there's a pattern to planting C4 bombs on the Metal Gear's legs. That's how you defeat Metal Gear.
Yeah.
And then the second game is the exact same thing, but with missiles or grenades or some shit. Like, it's a giant robot, and Snake is defeating this thing with grenades. It's ridiculous.
I mean...
Or the boss fights, like one of them in Metal Gear Solid is Ocelot, Revolver Ocelot, and you just chase him around in a fucking square and shoot at him. You know what I mean? Or,
not much is going on.
Or the final fight for Liquid is just punch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Run around punch. Like, it's kind of the lamest shit. But I'm also not playing it, so there's not any of that, like, like Resident Evil.
For you.
Where it's like the camera angles and shit like that are part of the gameplay and kind of the part of the atmosphere. I'm sure I'm missing some of that by not actually playing it. But generally, the boss battles, and I think we talked about this before in general with games, boss battles fucking suck in Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Just from a gameplay standpoint.
They're not the strongest point. Yeah, there's not...
Like, they have interesting gimmicks, like the Psycho Mantis fight or something like that.
Yeah.
But, like, the Vulcan Raven fight, you're throwing grenades into a tank and running around. Special. It doesn't seem like that special for a world-class secret agent. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what could be better. I'm not a game designer. I'm not Hideo Kojima in the 90s or 2000s.
It's fine. You can still criticize him.
I know, but I'm just thinking,
in fact,
for the quality level of everything else, I think they could have done more interesting boss fights. That's just my only critique.
Fair enough. It's just, I never even thought about it before, but I kind of agree that it's kind of the weakest point.
Yeah.
But, like, and the way you described, like, beating the Metal Gears, actually, like, when you said that, I'm like, it's kind of similar to the Metal Gear fight in Metal Gear Solid 2.
And the ones in the previous games, like Peace Walker, and even Metal Gear Solid 5, and even actually Metal Gear Solid 3, it's a lot of, like, Snake and these long attrition fights with a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
But they go on and on and on about how the Metal Gear is made with the best armor possible, completely impenetrable, can't be destroyed by any type of weapon. And then it's like, hey, shoot it in the dick 20 times with a rocket launcher. Thumbs up, game over. You know what I mean? Like, Metal Gear has been beaten by a dude with a rocket launcher. Now, I get it. It's Big Boss. He's got the biggest dick.
Yeah.
I understand that is part of the rocket launcher that he's firing.
Like, the power of his big dick goes into the rocket launcher.
Yeah, the big dick energy is like times 2 rocket launcher power.
Yeah.
But it's just like, come on, dude. Come on. Jill took out Nemesis with a crazy 4-pod rocket launcher. You're taking out a Metal Gear with a rocket launcher.
Metal Gear could just stomp on Nemesis.
Yeah, I was like, come on, there's got to be a little something in here. At least in Metal Gear Solid, they were like, okay, you can't actually destroy Metal Gear from the outside. You have to destroy the targeting system that's on the outside to open up the cockpit to shoot the missiles into the cockpit.
Yeah, and the only reason they even got that far was because some crazy cybernetic ninja helped out.
Yeah, to basically like help fight the Metal Gear in part. So it's like there's a little bit more that gets added in the storyline part of the timeline, but a lot of the fights for bosses are kind of the lowest point.
Yeah.
Like Metal Gear Solid 3 does a couple interesting fights, but again, it's like it's interesting in the sense that you're fighting this crazy sniper dude and you can't see him because he's camouflaged with really good camo in the jungle, and you have to like wait for him to like see his scope,
and
so then
you can
shoot
just know
him.
where he is. Yeah.
So again, gimmicky, not in a necessarily negative gimmicky way, right? But it's not a very high like octane fight. It's not a very high caliber fight. It's just like once you know the trick, the boss is beat.
Do you know about the one where you age the boss out?
I have heard about it, but I don't know if I've seen it in any of the games.
You probably won't see it in the movie because it's not something they would it's not something somebody would show.
Okay.
If they're trying to tell a story, but in Metal Gear Solid 3, I don't know which boss, but one of the bosses, if you just get to the boss, then save the game, turn off your PS2.
Oh, you told me about this. Yeah, right.
You just change the date, and he's dead.
That must be the end because he's this really old sniper dude, and I think
so it might be the same.
I think
guy.
he's like in a wheelchair up until the fight. Like he's literally just there in almost like a comatose state.
Yeah.
And then it's like you need to go kill Snake, and he's like, "All right, I'm good. Let's do it." He's basically saving all of his last bit of energy
just
of life
for this one fight.
for the last fight with Snake.
So just change the year on your console to a couple years ahead.
Apparently that kills him.
He's just dead. Yeah.
Which again,
gimmicky as hell.
Gimmicky as hell. But it's Kojima with his fucking crazy bullshit of like plug the controller port in the second slot to beat Psycho Mantis. Which, honestly, with MGS5, Psycho Mantis is in the game as like a child.
I didn't know that. Okay, yeah.
So he works with Eli.
Okay. Oh,
so that's how it leads into
asshole.
Metal Gear Solid.
That makes
right?
sense, actually.
But the way that he's portrayed in Metal Gear Solid 5, he's like crazy powerful. And although Metal Gear Solid has the fight that everyone knows about plugging the controller port in port 2, because the game came out first, gets such a bad deal compared to how powerful he gets portrayed in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5, he's like, not actually, but like making people's fucking heads explode and shit like that. And then it's like, oh yeah, I defeated you by plugging the controller in the other port, and also you can kind of go stealth sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, the dude's a fucking floating around psychic, like making people's heads explode in one other game. In another game, it's like, you shoot him. He's dead.
I mean, like, as a kid, he tripped me up when he was telling me what games I've played.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize he was just reading my memory card.
Yeah. That was interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
And also, because now that I've watched Metal Gear Solid, I super get all the references for Metal Gear Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, when there's like, oh, there's piss everywhere and shit like that, that's because Otacon pisses himself. Because he's like super nervous and shit like that.
I forgot that that's where they meet.
Do you also know why Otacon has the name Otacon?
No. Did they explain?
Otaku-con convention.
Are you serious?
He's a fucking...
I know he's a weeb. I know he's a weeb.
That's his fucking code name is Weeb, basically.
Yeah, well, Otacon's still a dope-ass character.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Well, not in that game. He's kind of lame.
In Metal Gear Solid 2, he
becomes
cool.
the shit, yeah. And I know in 4 as well, he becomes the shit
pretty
too.
dope as fuck. I haven't played much of 4, though.
Okay, well, I'll tell you my report by probably next week when I finish the next 2 games. But yeah.
There we go. A lot of Metal Gear. All right, let's move on, because we only got about half an hour left, and our segments usually take longer than that.
Sure.
Okay, what song do you have?
My song for this week is Do You Think I'm Sexy by Rod Stewart.
I don't know this song.
I'm sure you've heard it before. If you think I'm sexy and... Oh, goddamn, I can't remember.
Okay. That's starting to sound familiar when you did that.
Yeah.
When you did that second part there. If you think I'm sexy...
and you want my body, baby, let me know.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard this somewhere before.
If you really need me.
All right.
Yeah,
why were you thinking about this song?
I don't know. I was listening to it a few months ago, and then it just popped back into my head.
Okay, all right.
I've been listening to a lot of music at work, so when a song pops into my head, it usually gets stuck in there for like the entire week because I'm not listening to any other music. That's
annoying as fuck.
Yeah. So like last week when I told you that I had Snake Eater in my head, I was literally listening to Snake Eater like 2 times a day.
Oh my! Well, that's not a lot.
As like the only music I was listening to
2 times a day, though.
Yeah.
It's not that much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least this time I'm not subjugating everyone else in the shop to listening to it.
That's true. All right, so now we're going to play Which One Is
Fake News.
Where Shane and the audience has to guess which one of the 4 articles I bring in is
fake news.
All right, are you ready?
Go for it.
Okay. Vancouver millionaires rally to support spinning chandelier.
Okay.
Actually, again, I like introducing these with a question if I can.
Go for it.
Okay.
It's your segment.
Yeah. So, like, can you tell me some things that, like, political people have gotten in trouble for like spending funds on? Like, what's the normal thing that a political person would spend money on?
You want like legitimate answers?
Yeah, just give me legit answers.
Or do you want dumb things?
Whatever's real. Like, it could be dumb and real.
Well, I mean, I would say like travel.
Yeah.
And like promotion, so like TV ads, maybe. Mm-hmm.
Something that benefits them.
Rallies
in that way.
And shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I agree with that.
I can't really think of many things. A lot of dumb things are like TV ads that get played really badly.
But even that still helps them in the future. Okay, so U.S. Congressman pleads guilty to using campaign funds on Steam games.
Okay. Unfortunately, again, I heard this one, so I know that one's real.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But that's pretty funny.
Fellatio Cafe, where customers receive oral sex while they drink their coffee.
Okay.
All right.
That's just the title? That's it?
Yeah, that's the title.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Here's another one. Okay. All right. What do you think of when you see? Or let's try it like this. Describe the character of Santa Claus.
He's a fat white dude that gives people presents and hangs out at North Pole with a bunch of midgets.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Seems like he's normally pretty chill.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be hard on the midgets. But
yeah, okay.
Group of Santas spotted kicking down wall and ripping out Labour sign. Labour, the political party of the UK, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So those are my 4 articles. Vancouver millionaires, congressman, Fellatio Cafe, and group of Santas.
All right, let me see this. So yeah, I'm killing number 2 because I know that one's real because I remember hearing about that one.
Okay.
I feel like with all the backlash of the chandelier, I feel like that one's pretty real.
Okay, all right.
And again, the people that would be supporting it or like rallying to support it would be the people that would look at that as like not a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you have a $15 million house, you're really not really too butthurt about one chandelier being put up, even if it costs $5 million.
Fucking how many houses? Like every house here costs fucking $15 million.
Yeah. Fellatio Cafe seems kind of bullshit, but there are crazier things in the world that have happened.
I mean, it's just like.
But then again, why would you want your dick sucked or your pussy eaten while you drink coffee? Like, I can't see that really being something like, milk and cookies. I have a feeling, White Russian, like.
I have a feeling it's more like a front.
Oh.
Like it's a place for prostitution.
Okay, so you think that it's not actually called like Fellatio Cafe. It's just like that's what people are calling it as like the Fellatio Cafe.
Yeah.
The place where you go to get a coffee and get your dick sucked.
Something like that.
Or like a massage parlor.
Yeah.
A rub and tug. I don't know. That still seems kind of fake. And then the last one, group of Santas spotted kicking down wall and ripping out Labour sign. I don't know. UK's not doing great, but I don't know why it would be Santas specifically.
Because it's a bunch of fucking like.
Because they've been mass vigilantes. Because they're dressed as Santas.
Yeah, like I honestly do think the whole like Santa thing could be used as a mask, right? But also like you'd have to imagine like Santa would be like a fat white dude. The Labour is a liberal party, so like it could just be like a group of people that really hate the liberals. It's like if there are going to be a group of people that hate liberals, it's going to be a group of fat old white dudes with beards.
That's a reasonable assessment.
At least that's my take on it.
I don't know. That one doesn't stand out enough to be fake news to me.
Which one is the most standout so far?
The Fellatio Cafe.
You think so?
I mean, it's not unheard of to have like a place where it's a rub and tug,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a cat cafe here
Mm-hmm.
where you buy a fucking bubble tea or coffee,
Yeah.
and then you go hang out with cats.
Yeah.
So again,
Totally fine.
like-
You buy your coffee and then you go hang out with a whore.
yeah, I mean, not unrealistic, but it just seems too
I want my $2,000 coffee.
like too on the nose when they're saying Fellatio Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's the one that stands out to me, honestly. I'm gonna go with Fellatio Cafe is the fake news.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's my final answer.
Okay, no, you got it wrong.
Is it Santa's?
No, it's not Santa's.
It's the Millionaires?
It's the Millionaires.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's a little bit of hope. But then again, it's
Okay.
really not that big of a deal either way anyways.
So this is from the Beaverton. Vancouver millionaires support spinning chandelier. In response to a widening controversy over the $4.8 million spinning chandelier under a bridge while the city is experiencing a homeless crisis. Great use of money. Vancouver millionaires are banding together to show the chandelier it has their support. I'm happy this is fake, okay? Like,
Yeah, but it doesn't seem that harmful for it to be real either.
it's just like if this was actually true, like it's so out of touch. Like it's
Yeah.
Isn't
that realistic though?
yes, sure. I mean, somebody decided to put the chandelier there. That's as out of touch as that's going to be.
I guess so.
I don't know why they didn't install something like this sooner, said millionaire Archie Townsend. It really draws the eye away from the squalor.
As we were talking about how they're trying to gentrify the neighborhood.
Yep. Or am I not allowed to look at nice things when I'm zooming by in my Tesla? Because that's discrimination. I mean, he's got a point there.
Yeah.
You're discriminating against him and trying to look at nice things. Tired of seeing international news reports about the chandelier that focus on its obnoxious extravagance at a time when thousands in the city don't have access to safe housing. Townsend has taken upon himself to gather other like-minded millionaires to demonstrate their unwavering approval for the chandelier and the luxury property developer who installed it. Well, there we go. I'm just going to read this one last quote here. When Archie called and asked me to support the chandelier, at first I was like, who cares about public chandeliers? I have my own, better, private chandelier. Says Maisie while demonstrating under the bridge with a dozen other millionaires. But he convinced me it's the principle of the thing. If we don't speak up when they come for this chandelier, who will speak up when they come for our chandeliers? Well, there we go. From the Beaverton, everyone. Okay, what's the next one? Steam games. So yes, so you had heard about this one.
Yeah, I did.
Where did you hear about this one?
I think it was from Internet Today, the guys I was telling you about.
Oh, they said
they cover stuff like that.
Because like initially, I was gonna bring the one with the Starbucks coffee fiasco with the cop, but I feel like you might have heard about that.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Really?
Or at least it doesn't ring a bell to me.
It's basically this cop went to a Starbucks to get coffee for the 911 dispatchers.
Okay.
This was during Thanksgiving. He's just like wants to get something for them, and on the coffee cup it said pig.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did hear about that.
There
okay.
we go.
I didn't read into depth of it, but I saw a picture of it and the headline.
A little tidbit about that one. Supposedly, it said pig on a digital piece of paper, like something that was printed out.
Yeah, readout.
Yeah.
They do that. They do that for names.
Yeah,
They don't write it on the cup. They do type it into the
ty-
computer, and then it's like a receipt. Like you go to
do they
McDonald's.
actually type it in, or like because or if the person like orders it, let's say they order it on their phone, it gets put in automatically.
I think they just incorporated that system into the
so
checkout stand, because when I go there
Mhm.
and I tell them my name,
they type it in.
they type it in, and then it gets printed out as a little ticket receipt.
Okay.
And then they stick it on like a little
So that's
sticker
how they
on
do
the
it.
cup.
Because I had heard some people saying that the fact that it's on a printer tells them that the cop ordered it on his phone and put pig on it himself.
It's possible that he did do that
Mhm.
and then tried to play it off as
they're trying to
they're fuck with me kind of thing. But also when I go to the counter to order
They do
and they
type it
misspell
in.
my name, it's
Mhm.
printed out misspelled.
Okay, so they do type it in.
Yeah.
Did you hear the manager got fired too?
For that order, for that pig thing?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, and the manager had almost nothing to do with it. The employee got fired, which if what everyone thinks that's accurate, right?
Yeah.
She wrote pig, she got fired, whatever. Apparently the manager also got fired, even though she noticed it at the time and offered to change it. So I guess that makes sense. So they can change it, or redo their coffees or something. And the cop said, no, it's okay. It's fine. I'll just take it.
That's bullshit.
Well, I guess from Starbucks' point of view, it's just like, oh, she should have insisted that he not take the coffees or something.
Just like made the executive decision to be like, no, we're not serving this.
Yeah, something like that.
I suppose.
I think that would have been worse, to be honest.
No. I feel like if they just did, because it wouldn't be very difficult. Listen, I don't want someone to get fired over something like that because it's not really the manager's action.
Yeah.
Like,
personally, I don't even think the employee should have been fired, but whatever.
Yeah, that's a hard sell because you work for a company and the last thing you want is bad publicity like this, especially Starbucks. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be clean, like the whitest fucking teeth.
Yeah.
But the manager getting fired seems a bit of an overstep. See, I initially, when you were telling me that, I thought it was like the manager wasn't even there. So I'm like, how would they be able to circumvent that? Mm-hmm. But I can kind of understand, and I don't agree with it, but I can kind of understand the idea that the manager is supposed to be in control of the store to a point where there is no lack of quality. So that shouldn't be able to be bypassed by, like, there shouldn't even be a question to the customer of it. Theoretically, if they spell my name wrong,
that doesn't
they should
matter.
know. No, you could make the same argument that the manager should step in and be like, no, for the quality of service to our customers, I'm going to get this drink made properly with your name on it. Now, she can't verify if my name is spelled improperly because they don't know how to hear me when I say SHANE, and apparently everyone hears some bullshit jumble of letters.
CZVVR.
You should see some of the fucking shit that people get printed on, that people print on my fucking cup. It's fucking ridiculous sometimes.
But, I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, go ahead, finish your point, and then I'll say.
But I can understand the idea that, like, if she noticed that, I'm going to say she. If they noticed it.
It's almost guaranteed to be a she. Let's be honest here.
Okay. Starbucks.
Yeah.
With their left-wing propaganda. If the manager noticed that, I think that's enough of a red flag to be like, listen, we can't serve this to this cop. That's just fucked up. Well, just a little bit.
You have to remember, this cop wasn't ordering a drink. He was ordering a ton of them for the dispatchers.
I suppose.
So, like, if the Starbucks manager said, you know, we're going to throw all this away and redo all your drinks because the name, in my mind, that's a much worse issue. Yeah. Like, that's wasting product.
I know.
A lot of product. Well, not a lot, but
that one, usual. Let me put it this way, from a shareholders or a upper management perspective, that one mistake from that one store on that one shift cost the entire company across the entire world to lose stock.
Imagine if the customer, like, imagine if they did that and the cop, like, made a big issue for environmental reasons. Like, there would still be a problem here.
I suppose, but the whole point is to reduce the amount of bullshit that could possibly happen.
Yeah, to be
and as
honest,
a manager,
I feel like for the kind of customers that go into a Starbucks, in my mind, environmental issues would be worse, especially since the cop said, "Don't worry about it."
Okay, yeah. If that is on record that the cop said, "Don't worry about it," then there should be no issue.
Yeah, it wasn't even the cop that made the complaint, as far as I know, because like I said, he got it for the dispatchers.
Oh, okay.
I think one of them are the ones that made the initial complaint.
Yeah, see, that's just, it's out of hand. Sorry, it's out of the control of the people who are actually involved in the incident. This is like white people being offended on behalf of someone else for something that would be conceived as quote unquote racist, but isn't actually, but then they bring it to the forefront as being racist, and now everyone just thinks it's racist.
Yeah, now everyone's just like, now everyone thinks that you're racist.
Yeah.
Because a white girl said that what were doing was racist.
Even though the person that was the quote unquote racism was directed to was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened here.
You call me a Jew, suddenly you're a racist or a Zionist or fucking whatever. Okay, anyways, back to the articles I brought in. U.S. Congressman pleads guilty to using campaign funds on Steam games. Is that what you would use campaign funds on if you were to choose something?
Especially not campaign funds, and not enough that it would be an issue like this motherfucker. He spent like a lot of money. I think it was a couple $100,000.
Well, I mean, here it just says more than $1,300.
$1,300. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I way over.
I mean,
for video games, yeah.
I mean, if you're getting like fucking what is it,
Humble
Train
bundles?
Simulator? No. Do you know how much those Train Simulators cost?
No.
They're well into the thousands.
Really?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know why.
Because whenever I watch like Demo Disc or Wheelhouse from Funhouse, they just get them for free because they're demos or trials.
Yeah.
So I never see the price of it, but
they're like well into the thousands supposedly. It's like basically a meme.
Oh Jesus!
Because they cost so much money for
too much
garbage.
Money for anything like that. That's even Photoshop's not that expensive.
Nope. Sure, not all gamers would use public money to fund their gaming hobby, but this is still not a good look for the gaming community, who suffer from negative stereotypes such as immaturity and lack of control and being addicted to video games. Addicted to video games. I mean, it might be true, but like, everyone has their vices.
Yeah.
Rep Hunter's misuse of public funds doesn't end there, however. If it did, we would probably just laugh it off and move on. But Hunter pleaded guilty. Oh wait, you might be right. Pleaded guilty for using over $150,000 of campaign funds in total. Oh, but that's in total, so that may not be like just games. That may be like, paying that prostitute, flying that prostitute over.
Maybe, yeah.
All these things with prostitutes.
But the real low point of the article is that he spent $13,000 on video games. $1,300.
Yeah.
Well, that's not even that much.
Yeah.
That's not even that much. I spent that.
Well, that's.
I know people who spent that much just on Smite.
Yeah, well, that's what the article says. It mentioned just like a moment ago. Like, if it was just that, then we'd laugh it off and forget about it. It's that he spent $150,000, but the funniest part of that is the $1,300 on Steam games.
Some would say the lamest part.
I think it's the most entertaining part. Wherein roughly less than 1% went towards his gaming hobby. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, see, that doesn't seem like that's big news. Why am I not hearing about all the other bullshit that he spent money on?
This next part is actually more bullshit. Oh, I mean, I would consider it more bullshit. So he used the money for a wide variety of things, including plane tickets for his family pet rabbits.
Nice.
In his indictment, Hunter and his wife pleaded guilty for using campaign funds for things ranging from the mundane to the luxurious. Hunter stole money from the campaign for items as inconsequential as fast food, movie tickets, sneakers, and as trivial as video games. That's fucking bullshit, because the video games is the least trivial part of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Lego sets, Play-Doh, groceries, dog food, and utilities. Nice. This guy was just living off of campaign funds.
Basically, yeah.
Like, he gets a salary, but he's not spending that salary.
No, it's going to his mortgage. That'd be ridiculous for him to have to spend his own money on food.
He should just use the campaign fund for mortgage as well at this point.
Yeah.
Might as well. Hunter was first tagged in 2016 when his family's luxurious lifestyle was put into question in light of the family's rising debts. This luxurious lifestyle included 1,300 Steam purchases Hunter has made. I wonder what game he plays.
Wait, 1,300 purchases?
Or $1,300 worth of purchases.
Okay.
Aside from his expulsion from the U.S. Congress, he may also face 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. And that is from techtimes.com.
Okay.
All right. Next one is, what is this? We are latinlive.com. Sorry, because it's all one word. It's a little hard to...
URL.
Yeah. So this is the Fellatio Cafe.
Okay.
All right. This is not a very long article, so here we go. You've heard of happy endings at seedy underground massage parlors.
Mm-hmm.
Now get ready for blowjobs at coffee shops. Yeah, it's a real thing. At the end of this year, a new coffee shop, Fellatio Cafe, will open up in Geneva, Switzerland, where you can get a hot cup of joe with a side of blowjob.
That's not even an illegal thing. It's totally straight up fucking a legitimate business.
And just how much will the sexual service cost set you back? 60 Swiss francs or about 50 American dollars. That's a good fucking price for a blowjob.
Not really. Man.
You don't think so?
$50 for a blowjob?
$50, yeah. Fucking like go to a strip club, they're gonna demand like fucking hundreds. $50 for a blowjob from a stranger working is good fucking money.
Suppose, yeah. I was listening to Your Mom's House podcast where there's a thing going on about one of the people that work there is this greasy dude.
Mm-hmm. Like,
not super greasy, but like they call him like a cockroach.
Okay.
His name's Josh Potter. Right. And he has an issue with like coming during intercourse with women, but
Okay.
he can jack himself off and it's totally fine. So there's a thing going on about like make Josh come.
Okay.
So
Like when he jacks off, what do you mean? Like
when he gives himself a hand job
Mhm.
or he
Yeah, I know.
masturbates, he can come. But if a
Oh,
woman
the
gives
issue
him
is that he's not coming when he's having
with
sex.
a woman.
Oh, I
Or if
was
they
totally
give him-
thinking the other way around,
no.
where like he's doing it too fast, and I was confused. Okay,
No.
all right.
So
I was
anyways,
fed up.
him and Tom were on tour in Europe, and they went to an Amsterdam sex club.
Okay.
I forget what the actual term was, but it's basically a house, not a red light district place.
Okay.
And it's like $300 or 300
Fuck.
euros
See, that's the kind of price I would expect.
for like an hour or 45 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, but I think like with that, they're probably actually having sex.
Oh
with
yeah,
them.
they
It's
are.
not just a
But
blowjob.
I'm just trying to think of like the scales. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I guess $50 ain't too bad, but
Mhm.
still seems like too high of a price to pay to get your dick sucked. I feel like you could just put the effort in to get someone to suck your dick.
Well, maybe we should just go on Leo's list and see the prices. Do you know that website?
No.
Okay. It's apparently a website where you can go to hire prostitute, like local for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Leo's list.
Like, are we talking about like normal people prostitute?
I
Or are
think
we
it's-
talking like greasy off Kingsway
No, I think it's like women who like
who are in the sex trade? Sex
and
work
like
trade.
take care of themselves
Okay.
and sort of, like it's not by like a pimp who's like abusing them sort of
Okay.
thing. Yeah. So yeah, 50. If anybody wants to, I mean, you'd have to fly to Switzerland, which in itself is a fee, but you know, at least you get a trip and you know go to this cafe, get some head.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Some decent coffee,
Yeah.
maybe.
Bring your girlfriend with you. You can probably take a girl out to this on a date. I'm sure the girl's giving blowjobs. I hope it's girls giving blowjobs. It could be. They don't actually specify. It's
I'm sure you
women or
choose.
men.
I'm sure you choose.
Okay.
I'm sure if you were a lesbian woman who walked in the door and you wanted a woman to eat you out,
Mhm.
I'm sure that would be available. I'm pretty sure they don't only suck dick,
Mhm.
and there's only
Well,
just
I'm
women.
you don't think? I feel like there might be only just women.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like with most things, there's more of a market for women than
Mhm.
there are usually for men.
Yeah, nobody wants to look at men. Nobody.
Yeah, but you're getting your dick sucked or your pussy, and you don't really
Yeah.
need to look at them anyways.
It's true. Yeah.
Like at that point, it's just a fucking tongue.
well,
But some people would have trouble doing the mental gymnastics of having a dude suck your dick
Yeah.
or having a chick eat you out if you're not a lesbian.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like a woman, like that's to me, it's like that's no different than like just getting like a blowjob machine, you know. But I feel like having a woman do it versus a blowjob machine, like the woman is gonna do a better job, even if she's not doing a better job.
I suppose.
Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
The human contact aspect,
Yeah.
as opposed to the cold steel of a fuck
Of-
machine.
Yeah. You know, when we get to the days where a fuck machine is better, you know, I'm all for that. But I don't think we're there yet. Well, that
Heated
has
with
nothing-
power washing.
Okay. So that's from, wearelatinlive.com. The last one is from edp24.co.uk.
What an easy URL punching.
So this is a group of marauding Santas out there causing trouble for everyone. A bunch of no good nicks. A number of men dressed as Father Christmas sent a wall crashing to the ground after they tried to pull down a political party sign outside the house. That's actually, I mean, it's not the most sturdy wall, but like they have a picture of it there. It still takes some effort to push that down.
Oh, that's just one of those like wooden signs they put up
Yeah.
during like.
Well, not just the sign. Like, look at the. Can you see the wall itself?
Oh, it's like a fence too.
Yeah, it's like a fence.
Okay.
It looks like it could be sturdy, but not. Like, it's not the hardest thing to push.
Bunch of fat dudes could probably push it over.
Easy. One of them just falls on it and is done.
Yeah.
The group, who were dressed as in Santa suits and hats, were spotted vandalizing Labour Party signs, which has been put outside a house in Norwich Golden Triangle. Emma, who lives close to where the incident happened, said she heard lots of shouting. This is where, like, I don't know what the fuck was going through her mind, but she looked out the window, saw a large group of men dressed in Santa suits trying to demolish her neighbor's wall. So she said, where is it? So then they went to a pub where she then followed them into.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, this seems like a bad idea to me.
It seems like someone overstepping their boundaries and responsibilities.
Yeah. Like,
But I guess, you know, someone's got to hold people accountable, I suppose.
Somebody. I said I saw what happened and asked if they were going to own up to it, apologize, and offer to pay for the damage. But she said the men who were still dressed in the festive outfits were quite dismissive. They were saying it wasn't us, it must have been someone else. Yeah.
It wasn't me, the Shaggy defense.
That's right, the Shaggy defense. Man, speaking of overstepping bounds, like 2 weeks ago, I was at the dollar store and I saw some people stealing stuff. I was just like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I should tell the cashiers. But also, I'm like, if I tell them, then they have to fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
And stupid me, I told the guy, like, and I shouldn't have. Like, that was dumb.
Yeah.
And then he, at that point, like, had to leave the person he was helping, like, run the till and then try to get the guys to return their items.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, oh man, I just created trouble for this guy. I'm the asshole here.
Yeah.
I'm more of the asshole than the guy who's actually stealing this shit.
For the petty theft thing, yeah, it's kind of annoying. I do the same thing when like people, like now that I'm paying for the bus and the SkyTrain and stuff like that, when people jump it, sometimes I want to be like, you don't get to fucking sit down on the bus. You didn't even pay to get on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let the people who paid sit down.
On the seat.
But then I'm like, who cares at the end of the day? I don't give a shit. I'm not running TransLink. You know, at the end of the day, fuck TransLink. They don't know what the fuck they're doing half the time.
Yeah.
They can afford to take the $3 hit or whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, mind you, this is slightly different because I have never stolen. Like, stealing was something I always stayed away from.
You stole from the movie theater when we used to bring
That's
food
true, actually. Well, is that considered... Like, I used to steal from the theater from movie to movie for free.
It's not... Yeah, which we have done at least once.
Yeah, I know we have. Yeah, I guess technically bringing candy in is
it's a form of theft, but it's not literal stealing.
No, it's not. Fuck the movie theaters and their fucking $5 bag of Skittles or whatever, okay?
For their fucking almost flat ass pop.
Yeah.
For fucking $7.
All right. I have every right to bring a candy in.
Bring dollar store.
That's what we used
I spent
to do all
$7
the
at the dollar store and I have a fucking banquet in my bag.
Yeah, fuck. We used to just hide it in our backpacks and get into the theater and start taking shit out. Yeah. Shawarma, that's right. Oh, man. I need to get some Abduls.
Yeah, I know. I always forget. Like, I always think about it like 2 days after you leave. I'm like, I should get Ken to bring shawarma next time. But then I'm like,
where the fuck am I going to get shawarma? Like, I can't go to Abdul's on the way here.
You can. No, Kingsway.
I'm not doing that. That's such a diversion.
That's a thought that I always have. It's like, it's really actually out of the way at the end of the day. But whatever.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I felt like a huge asshole at the dollar store right after I told the guy. I'm just like, oh, that was dumb. I don't know why I did that. Never let your morals get the best of you, right?
You gotta test the waters every once in a while.
No,
but that seemed like dumb. Not the, like, you know, where to, what's the term? Oh God, what is it? I can't even remember.
Look, I was clearly just trying to feel good about myself by apprehending some people. Okay, like I just...
Well, clearly you thought it was wrong to some certain...
It was told... I regretted it immediately. I was just like, this is stupid.
Well, now you know. For petty theft, and at least for the dollar store, just manage your level of, like, how bad was the crime? What are they stealing? Is it worth the time and effort? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for example, they just have a general rule in most retail places that if someone steals something, as soon as they leave the store, you're not supposed to follow them.
Yeah, you leave them alone.
Yeah. I had someone steal an Xbox from me from the counter when I worked at EB Games.
Yeah.
Just gotta let him go.
I got, well, they wanted to write me up when I was at Toys R Us because some guy stole those, those big Power Wheel cars.
Yeah.
Where it's got the battery and you can drive it. Somebody just walked out with a box of it.
How the fuck do you walk out with one of those things? They're heavy as
did it with No, they're not that heavy. They're pretty light, yeah.
Maybe I was just a kid when I was using them, so.
Well, I mean, he was holding the box too. So, like, it's not awkward. Those boxes are pretty easy to hold as an adult. Okay. So he just walked out with it. And I saw him walking out, and I'm just like, that guy didn't pay for it. So I called my manager.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, did that guy pay for it? Because, like, I saw him just as he left the store. And anyways, like, after it was done, my manager's was just like, Ken, you should have chased after him. He stole the Power Wheel. And mind you, I was the only cashier at the time, and there was a huge lineup full of people. And I looked at them dead in the face. I'm like, you wanted me to leave the till to go chase that guy out of the store.
Yeah.
Are you guys crazy? I'm not signing that paper.
That's literally what they get you to sign not to do when you get hired for the job. It's like, you're not liable for anyone stealing once they leave the store.
No, you're not. And then so they tried to guilt trip me. And I'm just like, no, you guys are wrong.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah. You want me to, fine, next time I'm just going to go run after them.
Then all the people in line will steal too.
Yeah. People in the line are going to get pissed off. You'll deal with all those complaints. If they have any complaints, I'm sending them to you. Fuck you guys.
And you're still not going to catch the dude anyways.
Yeah. I'm just not even going to try. To be honest, I'd probably just go outside away from the cameras and just kill it like 5 minutes or something. You know, eat company time. But anyways, fuck, it's already 2:04 and I haven't even done my trigger yet.
Do you want to?
I do.
Go for it. I mean, I have something too, but it's not a trigger, but go for it.
All
Do
right.
your thing.
So this is what triggers my timbers. People trying to take the word trigger away from me.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this new campaign, but now a bunch of SJW cucks, which, let's be clear here, already fucked up with the word trigger, okay, are now saying you can't use the word trigger because it doesn't, because you're not actually having flashbacks and shit like that.
Yeah, but neither are they.
Yeah, neither are you guys.
They're just a little bit upset and have their feelings hurt or some shit.
You're the ones that fucked up this definition. Like, what the fuck?
By making it far too broad and all-encompassing.
Like, no, like, we're not giving this word back. I'm using it for this fucking segment. I'm going to keep it. All right. In fact, the SJWs are not allowed to use it from now on.
I don't think it's going to work.
All right. When they listen to this podcast,
it's better for just to appropriate their word and use it in a mockingly fashion. But I don't think you're ever going to get them to stop using it, because just in the same way they're not going to get you to stop using it, they're not going to stop because you want them to stop.
Fuck those hypocritical assholes,
is
man.
Is there a origin to this in particular, or is it just generally this is the movement now?
I've been seeing more and more just people saying, oh, you know, triggers are supposed to be for like military veterans when they are having flashbacks to the past.
Okay,
after hearing noise.
That seems a little bit more legitimate for the term trigger, but the people who generally use it are not getting triggered that way.
The thing is, like, I can see this bullshit because that's how they always start the sentence, right?
Yeah.
It's the military veterans. And then after they finish that example, or when the LGBTQ does X or Y or Z, I'm just like, okay, no, you guys are just making this bullshit up.
Yeah.
All right? Fuck you guys.
Hiding under a guise of a real reason.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I see through this fucking bullshit. Okay, I know what you're up to. No, I do not fucking take this word back. Okay, I'm not letting you have this word back. The military people can use it for their legit reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm not stopping them. All right? But, you know, I like getting triggered over things. All right?
Clearly.
I'm a snowflake.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah.
I'm a total snowflake.
Clearly getting triggered.
Anytime someone calls me fat, I just ban them off Twitter.
No, that's not true.
I ban them off of Twitch.
Call yourself fat. I call you fat all the time on Twitter, not Twitter, on Twitch.
On Twitch. I always banning people. Any negative comments whatsoever, you're gone. All right. I'm a triggered little snowflake.
Are you even on Twitter?
No, I have an account, but I never fucking use it. I tried using it once because like everyone else was, and like all people use it for is like reading short snippets of celebrity opinions, but that's not something. And porn. It's not even that good for porn.
Not according to Joe Rogan. Apparently Joe Rogan's like, there's just straight up porn on Twitter.
And yeah, I know there's porn on Twitter, but I don't think it's good porn.
Oh, I mean,
because
it's free porn.
If it was good porn, it'd end up being banned because people would watch it. Like Twitter.
Well, I don't think it's videos. I think it's pictures.
I think it'd still get banned.
No, on Twitter, apparently it's free. It's an open market of porn. Yeah.
I thought it was just like poorly regulated, but technically against the rules.
Maybe that might be the case, but I think it gets a free pass because it's not really hurting anybody to see some lady bending over, spreading her cheeks.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I feel like
roast beef sandwich.
Everyone should that should just be on all platforms.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
free the nipple.
Free the nipple.
And the roast beef.
And the roast beef. If not for the women, then think of me. Yeah. Okay. Think of what works. Think of what I like to look at.
Start posting pictures of yourself like fucking Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
I don't know I know Silence of the Lambs, but I don't know who Buffalo Bill is. I assume he's fat.
I like quoting a lot of Silence of the Lambs. Okay. There's one part where he's in the mirror and he's not actually trans because he hasn't transitioned, but he's dressing up like a woman. Like the whole plot is that he's abducting women and making a woman suit.
Okay, all right.
There's one part where he's in the mirror and he's like, "Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me."
Oh, that's where that line is from?
Yeah, that's from that movie.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
But he's got his dick tucked between his legs.
Oh yeah, okay, right? I see what's going on.
And he's standing in the mirror and he's like, "That's you. You're gonna take that picture. You're gonna tuck your dick."
Yep, that's me.
Would you fuck me?
I'd fuck me.
I love quoting that movie.
Huh.
The other one that I like quoting from that is, "I can smell your gun."
That I've never heard.
When she's going to meet Hannibal Lecter for the first time,
Mhm.
there's other people that are locked up and like in cells next to Hannibal Lecter.
Okay.
And there's one crazy dude and he's yelling stuff and Hannibal Lecter's like, "Do you know what he's saying?" And she's like, "Yeah, I heard." He's like, "I can smell your cunt." So he's just yelling that, and then there's one part when she's leaving where he jacks off and he throws his semen at her. So she's running.
It's like an open cell or something?
It's got like an open top or something so he can breathe. So he like whips his cum out.
Does it hit her?
Yeah, it's like on the shoulder.
Jesus Christ. You make Silence of the Lambs sound like a comedy.
There's some good parts to it. It's a great movie, but I love quoting it because it just got these great fucking quotes, and you know my sense of humor, which is fucking like the dirtiest fucking words and the dirtiest fucking things.
If at any point we like this takes off and we can actually have some free time, a parody of Silence of the Lambs, but like I don't know if parody is the right word, but a short retelling of that story, but from more of a comedy
just
styling.
The hits.
Yeah.
No horror, no action, just the hit lines.
Yeah. That would be kind of funny.
Yeah. Or see how much of a movie you can condense with the out of place lines.
Yes. Why not? It'd be fun.
It'd be like those like 5-second movies and shit like that.
Well, yeah, I mean more creative than that.
A little bit, but you know what I mean, like trying to condense a movie into just a few scenes to see if you can still get the point across.
Yes.
But not even trying to get a point across, just trying to take the parts of the movie out of context almost.
Yeah, see if we can make a cohesive story out of just that. All right. So you said this is not a trigger, but it's
not a trigger. I'm gonna call it a substitute for words of wisdom.
Okay.
I had a thought today,
or
the last couple of days, and I was trying to think about it. We talked about this before, where we kind of consider ourselves white.
Okay. Yes.
Right, but we're not actually white by like the standards. Like we are and we aren't.
Yes. Okay.
So I got a new word for us. What we are.
What are we?
We're ethnic.
Ethnic.
We're technically ethnic.
I love this word. Ethnic. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm down with this word.
So that's my revelation. I want to put this into the lexicon to see if anyone's going to pick this up. But it's for people who are technically ethnic, but are white.
Okay.
But like not pose as white because we're not pretending that we're like generic white American dudes.
No.
But clearly you are Arab.
Yeah, I'm Arab. Yeah, I got the fucking nose and everything.
I'm Portuguese.
Yeah.
And I'm a fucking racial chameleon.
Yeah, you're... Actually, I was about to say you're holding your finger like this, but that's Italian.
That's Italian, yeah. Like half Portuguese and half Belgian. So I'm pretty close to white. Like the skin tone is light.
Yeah.
But I'm not white. I'm not American cheese white.
Like I can see your skin tone being slightly like Brazilian or something.
Yeah, see that's the thing that's why I say I'm a racial chameleon because everyone can just pull whatever they want out of their ass of what I actually am.
Okay.
Like I told you before, I've had Italians come up to me. I've had Indian, like not native Indian, but like East Indian men come up to me, start speaking Hindi to me.
That seems off to me.
It's the heavy facial hair and the dark hair. Because they go a pretty wide range of skin tone from like light brown to like
they kind of do, yeah. I'm just curious, is Portuguese different from Brazilian? Because Portuguese is the language of Brazil, isn't it? Is Portugal different?
They basically went to Brazil and it was their colony.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
It's kind of like they're like an offshoot of, they're like Latin American mixed with Portuguese. Okay. Man. And they use the language of Portuguese.
Right. Okay, that makes sense then. All right. So you open.
That's my wisdom.
That's kind of your wisdom.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pass that off as being wise, and I'll take your line. I opened. You can close this time.
All right. I'm just gonna check something before I do it.
Oh right. Do you want me to still do this part?
No, it's okay. I can do it. Let's see if I fuck this up. I've already fucked it up. I don't know what to say. No, don't help me. I'm gonna get it right. Okay, I'm gonna do it. If you would like to contribute to this podcast, you're welcome to email us at overtlydisagreeable@gmail.com. That is overtlydisagreeable@gmail.com. Let us know if you have any questions, concerns. If you yourself are also, what's the term? Technically ethnic. So ethnic. Yeah. It's good. If we have any ethnic listeners, you're welcome to just let us know.
You want representation? We've got you covered.
You got 1% Irish. No, Irish doesn't count. You got 1%. Whatever non-white culture in you.
If you feel oppressed because people think that you're white, but you're not white, you're technically ethnic, you're tethnic, come join the Liberation Army.
That's right. So yeah, let us know. And with that said, go fuck yourselves.
Go fuck yourselves.
See ya.
Good night.